Go for it, Ryan.
Why did Ryan Muir intimidate and bully Saiki in the interview of her? Is he culturally ignorant? Did his natural aggression come out? He thug-mugged her with his face and kept aggressive, intimidating posture and body language. He held his guitar like it was a weapon. He also kept a distinct, harsh tone to his voice. None of this was face-to-face, but Saiki looked scared and intimidated anyway. Too easy for scumbag thugs to attack BAND-MAID in a small venue by throwing something. Not far-fetched as Asians. Huh?
What? What is happening?
All right.
Unreal.
Welcome everyone to the Guys podcast. That's a lovely message that we've all been receiving on our off time, and you can see as Champ was very disgusted by it. And welcome, Chase. How are you doing, man?
Man,
What's
I'm
up,
good. I'm good. I'm ready. I've done
Ready?
my stretches. I'm all good. I got the time zones right.
What do you think about that? What do you think about that interaction right there?
Man, that guy needs like betterhelp.com promo code something. We need to help him out, man.
I got to find that footage, that interview with Saiki. I can't believe
Yeah, I can't believe you haven't posted it.
Yeah.
That's what I was more pissed off about, was the fact that Ryan's holding out on us and didn't tell us about this interaction he had with Saiki.
My bad, guys. I know it would have been big news, but I just wanted to keep it to myself.
I mean, that's something that the Guys podcast is all about, is news like that. It's kind of selfish there. Just a little bit.
Well, you know what? I'm gonna thug mug your face.
Champ is
And
speechless.
hold my guitar like a weapon, and you will be intimidated.
Look at.
Bless you, champ.
Yeah, Champ is really pissed. I don't know. Like he's so pissed.
Flabbergasted.
About it. He is. He's flabbergasted about this whole thing. So, are we gonna get the sponsor of BetterHelp?
I think so. We should send them that clip, man. We've got some people they could profit from, I guess. That guy's having a tough day.
Yeah, he is. Almost as tough as Champ's day right now. I don't know.
Yeah.
So what have you been up to, man, since the last time we talked?
I have been bit of holiday. The other half came out from Arizona. We went to Dublin, went to Liverpool, ate a lot of food, drank a lot of drinks.
How's your
and
birthday?
just hung out, really. Yeah, just wasn't YouTubing much, but just was like hanging out and spending time. It was awesome.
That's awesome. Oh, happy belated birthday too, by the way.
Thank you so much. I'm old. My knees can tell the weather. It's horrible. Yeah, it's starting to get cold again in England, and it takes me like 12 minutes to get up.
Well, you brought up something interesting before we started the podcast. I didn't even know about your little media run that you did. And I was like, that would be, I think, interesting for people to hear what you want.
Yeah,
Sure.
I was in live TV for 5 years. Worked on a breakfast show. It's called Sunrise. It is one of the top two. It's with a network called E! News, which is like the biggest independent news network in Africa, actually. And I worked on a breakfast show as like a producer / writer / whatever. And I did a lot of like live stuff around like sports and inserts and stuff like that. But it was like the start time was like 2 a.m. So I'd have to get up at midnight to go for a run, shower, so I could just be like awake, get to work by like 2, get the show starts at like 5:30. So it was insane.
Oh wow. Yeah, we're talking about it. So you say we're talking about like in front of millions of people and stuff like that, and then but you'd be like talking with 5 other people and
yeah, I mean, like the newsroom's quite busy, but like the actual like studio you'd go into produce certain segments, and then or you'd be in the studio doing like an interview or whatever, and it'd be like 3 or 4 cameramen, maybe like 1 or 2 runners, and then like an anchor who's getting ready for like the next piece to link, and then that's it. But there's like so many people watching at home, you just have no connect with it. There's no chat. In fact, like that's actually how I got into like the job I'm in now. I started integrating social media into those conversations. So like they'd break away from interviews to let people like give them time to ask questions, and then like we'd be able to filter that into live news. So like that was one of the first times that had happened, at least in South Africa news.
Yeah.
So it was cool. It was fun. I enjoyed it, but after 5 years of it, it's like you can't. It's also like a nasty, filthy, disgusting industry.
Did it make it easier to do YouTube, like transitioning over? or like doing stuff like this? Does it feel more
I
natural
think,
or?
yeah, I'd probably say it probably has. I mean, there was like a big gap between that and doing YouTube, but I think, you know, I was going from that and then being in a band, like those two things are like massively helpful because you just get used to basically bombing and on a
Yeah.
large scale. Like
Yeah.
it's just fucking insane. And then you know, once you bombed in front of people live in your face and they're not happy about it, or you snap a string the first time, what like something goes
Yeah.
wrong you aren't prepared for.
Did you
Or
ever read some of those messages? Like, when, like, let's say you fucked up on the news station because you say you got millions watching, right? And then, like, was there social media then? I know that, or was it Facebook, or what was it back then?
Yeah, it was mostly like Facebook stuff, to be honest. But like, no, they never really. The people were, I mean, yeah, there was some nasty stuff they used to say, and to be honest, it's like news, so you try not to censor people.
Yeah.
And it's a breakfast show, so like normally it's more light. And normally like anyone who's angry is angry at like a thing that happened in the news versus like the conversation you're having. So I can't say I saw an awful lot of stuff about me particularly, but I didn't really care for it.
That's probably
Were
that's
you,
probably smart.
were you behind
not
the
to do
scenes
that.
like handling stuff, or were you
Both. I was probably majority behind the scenes, but I did do a lot of like what we would call segments. So you'd go away and film. This is not live now in this instance. You go and film with like an actor, a comedian, or a sportsman or something, and then you'd package it up and it would play. Or I would do like live chats around like either health and either sports stuff or whatever. I did those as well. So there was live stuff to it as well.
Wave. I know Wave was not here on the first interview, so I'm sure he has some questions for you. So
Cool.
And then finally was able to get him on for this one. So what are questions you have, Wave, for Chase, to give you the opportunity? Because I know you had quite a bit to ask him the first time. He's like, no, I didn't.
It's like, fuck, man, I don't have anything. I don't even know who this guy is.
it doesn't matter what happens or what time it is.
It's
Whenever
like,
you
who
go
the fuck
late,
is
it's
Jake?
like a bad
I
time.
thought we were just chatting.
No, I'm just really impressed that you would get up at midnight to work out before going to work.
I had like my life sometimes sounds like a movie. Like people often, like anyone close to me goes like, a lot of times it seems like I'm lying. I guess like it's not, maybe not lying is the thing, but like I'm like exaggerating certain elements because like a lot of it, I grew up with like two older brothers, very competitive like family, and I played rugby in school, right? So I thought that would be my job. And then I really hurt my neck. I had a ton of injuries and stuff, but I really damaged my neck. I woke up, couldn't move my feet properly and stuff, and couldn't play rugby anymore. And you know, you're young, your metabolism still works, still a fucking thing. And then I carried on eating and I just blew up like massive, right? I'm talking just giant, like massively overweight. And I just like was like, okay, I'm not doing this anymore. Going to get healthy. And I got in like really phenomenal shape, like the best I could ever get in. And exercise was like a really important thing. It was like really good for my health, mental health, everything else. I pushed it way too far than it needed to be. Like I was running for Nike. I was doing USN ambassador stuff. I was doing a whole bunch of shit like that. And when I went into the news stuff, like that was like a long kind of the time I was doing that. So I had to find room to do it. So I'd exercise before work and after work. And if you're getting to work at 2, it's like, what are you going to do? You can't not. It was just too important to not do it. So, but I mean, I could never do that now. Like that's those days are long gone.
Wow.
Gotcha,
man.
I'm trying to exercise minimally.
Just like even more stuff that we didn't know about you.
I've done a lot of things. Like my parents had
ridiculous
rules.
Amount of stuff, man.
My parents were like, you can try anything within reason. We didn't grow up with a lot of money, but like you could within reason you can try stuff. But if you try it, like if you started, you got to finish at least a season or like a whatever. You have to finish. It's like you can't let people down, especially if it's a team thing. So I was lucky enough that they kind of gave us the opportunity to try a lot of different things. But I'm sure it was a headache for them.
Did you say you ran for Nike?
Yeah, so I lost like I don't know what it is in pounds. Let me have a look for you quickly. Kilograms to pounds. You guys do pounds, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. We don't do stones like those other heathens.
I don't do stones. Fuck that shit. I don't even know what that means. I lost like initially like 90 pounds, I think it was.
Wow.
And And as a result of that, you can imagine like a lot of people. By the way, I didn't go to gym. Wasn't going to gym. Wasn't everything at home. Like I had a boxing bag and a pair of sneakers. Like that was my thing. Maybe a skipping rope, I think. And I was kind of doing it all at home. And then, you know, you start like sharing the story of like achievements that you had, and brands want to get on board in a big way. And so had Nike were like, I was an ambassador for them. I certainly was never an athlete, but they like sponsored gear for me and paid for my running license and got me into like a lot of events and stuff. Yeah, like if you run any long distance, you need a license. You can't just you can do like a 21K, I think, and you could possibly do a 32K, which is like an in-betweener. But if you want to run a marathon or you want to run an ultra marathon, which is I did an ultra marathon, was the longest I did, which is like 56 kilometers. You need like a license. You have to belong to like a running team or whatever, because like it's actually quite dangerous if they can't just let anyone do it and fall over, I guess.
Yeah.
Wow. Is that a thing here too? Like, is this everywhere? You need license for this?
I think you probably. I don't know. But I know it's for the longer distances. So like, I imagine most people don't do those. I mean, again, you guys you do miles, right?
Yeah.
God, man, everything's so difficult. Why you guys got to do this? Huh? Why you guys got to
You
do
can
like
say the other measurement.
America. Freedom.
Okay, so the ultra I did was just over 35 miles.
Okay. Nice.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
Nah, never again.
I feel like I haven't accomplished anything now.
Yeah, thanks, Chase.
We're gonna overachiever who now is like does videos in the bedroom.
You've achieved enough. Now you can chill.
Yeah,
Right, exactly.
Poor Champ. He can't seem to get his thoughts in line.
I know. He just
he's thinking.
very disgusted.
His mind is blown with all this stuff he just learned.
I know,
Yeah.
crazy.
This guy's amazing.
Champ, do you have any questions you want to ask?
Me?
Okay. I mean, no, Champ. I was asking Champ if you want to ask you any questions, but he seems confused. For those listening on the podcast, Champ is just very silent today, leaving us, you know.
All right. We'll let him gather his thoughts. And
gather your thoughts,
zinger
man. It's hard for him to
Oh,
talk
wow.
sometimes. Sometimes he doesn't get enough in to say. Maybe we're interrupting him too much.
Maybe. Yeah.
So what was your last reactions that you do? So you say you took a break a little bit off of him, right?
Yeah, I think I think it was Dayseeker was the last thing I did, which was probably the last thing I did. Let me have a look. Yeah, it was Dayseeker. That was, well, I had formed it already. I just released it. It's the last thing I released, which is like 2 weeks ago. Great band. Quite like a tough one, because I didn't know going into it. It's like a song about his dad dying of cancer, which is like thing I'm all too familiar with. So I was like, I wasn't really prepared. I hadn't really heard anything about them other than like people saying like, I think you kind of like the style of music.
Mm-hmm.
So it was a bit of a intense one, but that's good. Music should do that.
Yeah, exactly. I was gonna ask you something. I completely just like drew a blank. God damn it! Oh, the band Unleash BAND-MAID. Have you checked out that new EP yet, or just the one song?
No,
no,
I haven't. I'm going to. It's part of the plan. I just haven't. I did Unleash. I did the song. That's the last thing I did of theirs. But I definitely will. There's a lot of stuff on there. I just don't think. As I said, like I got to a point where I've got stuff that I've filmed already. I try and give myself a bit of leeway with it so that like I never want to have to do a video. I fucking hate that. Like I hate it. It's the worst thing on earth for me. I have to battle continuously between either trying to be like competitive and like you can't miss a week, which is like, you know, in a way good, or battle with, you know, that against if I'm just doing it because I'm just have to do it, it's probably not going to be the best video.
Yeah, I feel you on that. Oh, hey, I completely feel you on that. I was just curious, but I made a significant change over on my stuff with the whole like reaction or requests because of that reason. Because I noticed that like it just wasn't fun. It was becoming like a chore and stuff like that, which is fine. But like, you know, you want to do stuff that's relevant too, but it's like because you want to, you know, also because then you can feel the passion in the video, right? Then you're much more passionate, more consistently excited about what you're doing. But when you start getting boxed into that, like, oh, I fucking have to do this, you kind of want to do it less. Kind of like with Ryan when we told him to go check out Otto, and he's like, God damn it, everyone's telling me to check it out.
I refuse and resist.
Refuse and resist.
Have you heard that yet? No, I haven't.
That's where like I think, and it's difficult because like there isn't actually a practical or usable output to what I'm about to say, but like I think sometimes fans of particular bands are just do themselves a disservice because they're like so excited for you to hear it, and you may be getting that from like every time you open your phone, you're just getting like the same thing, but like sometimes in a really nice way, sometimes in a hey, I'm not sure if you've heard that, which is great, or I think you might like this, and sometimes like in an ultra aggressive way, and like the accumulation of those things can be intense. But you of course would never want anyone to feel like they should be less excited about wanting you to take a look at like a band they love that they've connected with, of course. So but it can get intense. So I hear you on the whole, like you have to, it becomes like you have to listen to this, and it's like do
what's the best way to ask Chase Carson to react to something? What is the best way to ask you?
Send me a lengthy, hateful email. No, don't do it.
You just screwed yourself. You're gonna get a bunch of hate emails. That'll be the next podcast.
Dude,
reading Chase's hate emails.
Listen, man, it's just gonna go in a bucket with the others. I'm gonna see it. No, I mean just like wherever, like people comments on videos. Like for me, the thing that makes the most sense, like I've started to realize, which I had no fucking idea that I could do, and actually B, my other half, she's in the chat, so shout out B, love you lots, showed me like a cool thing. I didn't know I could do this in analytics, like searching for comments by like the band name. This is how stupid I am. I never look at the analytics.
I never thought of doing that.
So like if I want to do, let's just say Unleash the Archers, right, for example, whatever, I go in and I type Unleash the Archers, and it brings up all the comments that have that phrase in. And then I can kind of get a really quick gauge over like, what's the one that everyone wants me to look at versus trying to scroll through all the other videos and look through things. And she's like, why don't you do that? I'm like,
you just blew my mind. You just blew my mind right now.
Dude, it's like game changer.
YouTubers are like, what?
It's typical. Like my love, not a YouTuber, doesn't do it, goes, hey, do this thing. I'm like,
You just blew my mind right now. I'm really literally gonna do that right now.
Dude, it's insane.
That is
like
crazy.
I'm not joking. So if you go to like comments and then you go up to the top,
I knew that was there.
Haven't responded.
Honestly,
but if you do search by and you just do search and you put the value in, it's like insane.
The sad thing is I knew that was there and decided not to do that for some reason.
Yeah, it's crazy. Well, now you know.
Poor Champ, he can't even comprehend this shit.
I know. Champ is just fucking
analytics section.
He looks like he's going, where's search?
I think he's still looking. Hey, Champ, so you want to go to the part where it says settings? No, it's settings.
Oh, man.
Yeah, I don't think he's getting it. All right, well, you keep working on that, man. What we believe in you.
Let him work it out.
Yeah.
Get there, buddy.
You'll get there. We believe in you.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Yeah, I think he blinked. Was that a blink? I think Champ blinked right now.
Yeah.
About to sneeze.
He's about to sneeze. We don't know. Hey, let us know in the chat. What do you think Champ is thinking about? Let's go. So the best way to ask.
See Nightwish this month?
What's that? Am I going to see Nightwish?
Yeah, I just saw your post this morning.
No. So I saw them in San Fran, and then I had forgotten that I had tickets to like a show like forever ago that they rescheduled for like over 2 years. So it's in November. Oh, wow. So I forgot I was like, I got tickets for it, but it's difficult because like I want to go, of course I want to go and see it. It's a great show, man. It's great, it's exactly the kind of show you think it's going to be, just like a crazy good show. But it's in London, so like it means taking leave, and I only have a certain amount of leave, and B's coming back out again, and I kind of want to save it for that. So it's a bit of a moral dilemma over there. But I do have tickets for it, which I forgot about, which is a cool thing. So I did see somebody though. I did see somebody in my when I posted that, it said like they live there, they kind of live near Wembley, and they really want to go, and they couldn't get tickets. I won't say who it is, but if I don't go, I'm going to just give it to that person.
Nice. Oh, nice. Very cool, man. That's awesome.
What's that?
Have you seen Nightwish before?
Yeah, I saw him in San Francisco in May, I think it was.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah, it was awesome.
That sounds like it would be an awesome show.
Yeah, it was good. It was very cool. I saw Beast in Black as well, like they opened, which I didn't know. It's great. It sounds like if Judas Priest did like techno aerobics. It's fantastic.
What?
Yeah, it's just crazy good stuff.
Interesting.
That's awesome, man. Go ahead, Wave. You didn't. I thought you had a bunch of questions.
Too organized, man.
We
Don't pressure him, dude.
So you mentioned you had watched Wave's video and that you had dug it a lot. I think that's why you wanted to mention the Wave last time, but
yeah, dude, that video was crazy good, man. Like from a couple perspectives, like just digging into the detail of the video was like having put together, like even back from the news days, having put together little segments like that where there's like a lot of research, a lot of thinking, never mind the filming, the editing, making sure that it tells a particular story. Like everything from the detail that he added and like the production of it was incredible. I think that kind of stuff is massively missing from just the scene, if you want to call it that in general. I think that was super interesting. It was like breath of fresh air seeing that video. I was like, watch the whole thing. I was like, oh God, I want to see more of this. So don't stop doing those. And I thought it was really good.
Wow.
I don't even know what to say.
like,
that.
I thought you were like unmuted on there.
Chase, what is your spirit animal?
It's got to be like a can it be a mix of things?
Ooh, an amalgam.
Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna go with what two animals? I'll go with like a French bulldog.
Nice.
And badger.
Wow.
Yeah.
What a combination.
Why?
The French
This question
badge dog.
come from Rosie.
Why?
Yeah.
Why do you want why are those your spirit animals?
I think a badger can be just like a bit of an arsehole. And a French bulldog's just like really short and stocky, and that's its excuse for being kind of fat. So, so like I could go with those two. High five for that. That's cool. Like a kind of fat, but has an excuse also. I think that's kind of cool.
Hey, I'm a French bulldog.
yeah. French
Kinda
badge
fat,
dog.
but everyone loves them.
They're so cute.
Wow.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right. Alan,
What?
Alan, what are your
don't you have a question?
I asked all last. I was like, because they're like, Wave had mentioned he had a bunch of questions for you, so I felt bad. I'm like, don't worry, we'll have you on again. And I was like, I didn't prepare anything this time. So
No, you're good, man. Hey, we
damn
just have a chat. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
If we're chatting and stuff comes up, we'll
Yeah.
good. I know there was a bunch in the other one, and you said like they probably removed.
Yeah,
them or something like that.
I couldn't find them, so you guys removed them. There was like some harsh questions in there that were interesting, so I had to change the title real quick because we're gonna grill you on them, and then I went go back to look for them, and none of them are there.
I mean, if anyone has any in the chat, if you guys do, if you want, go for it, man. I don't do a whole lot of like these kind of live chats and stuff. If I do, I'm normally just like chatting on my own. So I open book. I don't really have any. That's the one thing I don't get is like people go, "Hey, don't ask this, don't ask." I'm like, what the fuck? Just whatever you want.
Yeah, for sure, man. What do you have planned coming up for like reactions and stuff like that?
I don't, man. I got the songs
right.
you guys sent. Those are like definitely like ones that I want to form pretty soon. There's yeah. I was gonna form like no. I'm going for sure. I'm going to. I've got like a list of like. It's not a list. I've got like those two, but then I've got like a couple bands that my brain goes, oh, I haven't heard them in a while. I'd love to hear them again. So like, there's obviously the BAND-MAID stuff is like, I want to have a look at the new music. I definitely want to do like another Iceland Kills. That's like one that I want to check out as soon as possible. And then I kind of want to, I had oh God, what's that group called? Someone sent me like a really nice message about, they were like, I was kind of like skeptical when I first saw it. Like they gave me the whole journey of when they first saw me and then like what they thought. And now I think you've kind of earned the subscription now. And they're like, I think I saw you do X symphonic stuff. And I think this could be a group. It's just the way they phrased it was quite nice. I was like, I'll keep a I've like bookmarked it somewhere. I don't know where it is, but I don't really have a list. I never have a plan. I'm so fucking bad at this stuff.
That's all good, man. Rosie has a cool question. I don't think we ever even touched on last week. How you decided to make.
We already asked one of her questions. You get another one already?
Oh,
Is anyone
Of course.
else
I'm just kidding. Go ahead.
I was like, why did you decide to do reaction channel?
Well, you guys got to also answer that one. I think I'll keep mine quick. I didn't.
They already know why we did. I think.
Yeah, but I didn't. I felt like I was like really closed off to music, and I wanted to explore new music. I was also like pretty interested in finding out a bit more about YouTube and how it works. And I had a conversation with someone where I was not, they had said to me like, "Oh, here's a cover of a song," and they went, "There's something different about this part of it that like I can't pinpoint." So I was just on the phone. I was like, "Well, I think it's this, and I think they're doing it for this reason." And they went, "Why aren't you doing this?" And I was like, "Oh, okay." Well, that was kind of the final like motivation, and then jumped in. But I mean, I didn't even know you could do premieres for like a year.
Yeah.
It's just like recording stuff, posting it, and then carrying on with my life. I had no idea about anything, but that was kind of it. I mean, wanted to be part of music. I'm not in a band anymore. That seemed like a really creative outlet for me to jump into.
Yeah, I tried I did premieres for a while, but it got really tiring because it's like doing it at 6 a.m, and I was like, I can't do. Like, I just stopped doing it because I was like how they get it? Because the core audience was always up at 6 a.m, so it was like wake up at 4 a.m, 5 a.m, get it all ready, prepared, and then talk with the chat. And I loved doing it, but then after a while, when I was like working my other job, it was just like I was dead.
Yeah.
I was dead.
It's nice though that you want to be there in the chat.
Yeah, exactly.
Some people just schedule them out and they won't show up, and it's like, hello.
Yeah.
I wonder how many people do that. They don't show up in the premiere, because that's the whole point of the premiere, is to be in the chat.
I just missed one of mine, like one of the last videos I did. I set it for premiere in like an hour, and then I completely forgot about it. And 2 hours later, I'm like, oh shit.
I think I missed what. Oh, sorry, buddy. You go for it.
No, I was gonna say, I believe that, Ryan. This morning was hilarious. He's all like, "What? We have a thing today?" I'm like, I swear. I asked Wave, I'm like, I swear to God, we talked about this yesterday. Am I tripping? And Wave's like, yeah, we did talk about this yesterday. I'm like, so I wasn't sure if Ryan was fucking with me or if he like really forgot. I was like, oh shit.
I don't remember talking about this at all. I remember the other like 10 Waves dates and you fucking them up for like an hour.
Oh my
God. Sort that out.
Bro, I was so tired of reading Wave's comments. So Wave put in the message, right? He put 10-14, right? So I'm thinking
I'll be gone to the 10 to the 14th.
Okay, so be gone from the 10th to 14th. But for some reason, when I read, when I'm tired, I just highlight things, as I'm reading through, missing the context. So I see 10-14. So I think, oh, he can't do 10-14, October 14th, right? Like
what you just explained there explains so much about trying to fucking communicate with you.
Your brain was literally like, he's going to be unavailable for October 2014.
He sees and communicates in little sections of things he doesn't quite understand.
October 14th. But the part that was
like
horrible.
The first 5 minutes of seeing the comment is like, because like this morning, I'm like, wait, what's going on? And he's like, I thought we talked about it. I'm like, okay, what's going on? Interview with Chase. I'm like,
hey man,
what fucking time, dude?
Hey Alan, did you write that comment to Ryan? Did you just write that and forget?
I should have.
He's trying to wake me up.
trying to get him fired up. No. Yeah. I was like, hadn't slept for like, I think it was 24 hours or something like that. Plus, when I read Wave's comment, I'm like, that's why I apologize to him. I'm like, bro, I fucking read that completely wrong. It was horrible. I was like, so I had to explain to him, like, all right, guys, this is seriously what happened in my head. I read 10-14, immediately thought October 14th, not 10th through the 14th.
It makes sense. I wrote it like a date.
Yeah, with it being October, I understood, but I explained it 3 or 4 times.
Yeah, because Ryan was like, Alan, he said not between those dates. I'm like, what the fuck is Ryan talking about? So I go back and read them.
Potter is gone from the 10th to the 14th of October.
Like, what about the 12th?
It just kept getting worse. And I'm like, and then I realized, I'm like, all right. I finally got sleep last night though. So I have an issue, Chase, where I can't take sleep medicine because it it fucks with me. It completely it makes me super irritable, and I just realized recently I took it on Wednesday. I was like, oh, you know what? I'm gonna take the sleep medicine, right, and go to sleep. And I woke up the next day feeling okay. I was like, oh, I guess I don't have those side effects anymore. So then I take it the next day. But what I realized what was happening was I was getting no deep sleep for the past 2 days. And I was like, had a massive headache, and I was irritable as fuck. And I was like, could not read anything properly. Like my head was like, so I literally slept all day yesterday. So apparently I wasn't getting any sleep for a good 48 hours. Like it was just sleeping with my eyes closed pretty much. I mean, my eyes were closed, but I wasn't sleeping. Sorry, I said that weird.
You got to sleep. Like sleep is like, I'm a massive, I don't get a lot of it, but I'm a massive advocate. I wish I got more. Traditionally, like my family, all the boys just don't sleep much. My dad was always up at like 4 a.m. no matter what time he went to bed. It's just kind of a thing that happens. But I'm making like a bigger effort to sleep because one, like you said, you're just a bit not as miserable when you do get sleep. But like I can't focus. It just anyway. You add like lack of sleep, like you add lack of sleep onto that. It's a nightmare.
Right? That's the thing that's really fucked. Like we already know we can't focus with a full amount of rest. And they were like, let's just like be sleep deprived also, and also work a lot.
It's not the move, man.
What time would you go to bed when you woke up at midnight?
Well, the what you're supposed to do is go to bed at like 6.
Yeah, that never fucking happened.
I would go to bed at like 8 or 9.
Ooh.
I know that
at one point you'd have to sleep at some point.
Well, what happens is you go to bed at 8 or 9, sometimes 10. Like it's horrible, and you do that for 2 or 3 days, and then like the next day you go to bed at like 4.
Right?
Like you got your body can't like. There's a lot of people like I never sleep, and I'm like that's cool, but at some point you do kind of. The problem with it is it's not just about like having enough sleep. If you're driving at 2 a.m. you got to be switched on. Like you can't.
Right.
It sounds like it's easier, right? There's no one on the roads, which is cool if you don't live in South Africa, where a lot of dodgy shit can happen at 2 a.m. Yeah. So like you got to be switched on to like do that. And I would never like. Well, I certainly would never drink and drive, but I would never do that even like the day before, because I know like that the after effects can be a bit dozy or something after. But I'd have days where I'm just completely healthy, done everything right, and I'd get to work and I'd go, I cannot remember starting the car or taking one turn to get here.
Yeah.
And that's like not good, That's just a lack of sleep. So it's becoming more and more of a priority. Like I'm doing all the things I can. I was on sleeping pills when I was younger, like serious ass sleeping pills. Like knock you out like a zombie stuff, because none of the stuff works. And then my doctor went, yeah, this is working, but like you can't live on this. Like you can't, this is not a thing you can just do indefinitely. So I just switched them off and I try to exercise myself.
Most of the time with sleeping, like something that finally clicked and just made sure, I mean, I still fail at it anyways, because when you're motivated, you get tons of work done, right? But you get less work done if you sleep less, technically, because it's not quality, productive work.
Yeah. No.
I mean, it's because when you get that sleep, you get more creative. Because I noticed my creativity just went away, and I'm just mindlessly working. You know what I mean? Where it's like there's no thought or love going into it. I guess it's just like and then you're actually getting less done. That's the way I looked at it. So anybody that's having problems, like get to sleep, because you actually get more done if you get that 7 hours of sleep, technically,
Yeah.
I've had I'll have super productive days when I slept really well, but like, do you guys ever have that where you sleep really well the night before, you have a really productive day, but then you can't turn your mind off, so the next night you can't stop working in your head?
Yep.
Yes. That's most of the reasons why I can't sleep. Like I'll sit. There's been times where I remember one time I just laid there for 2 hours just thinking, and I'm like, God damn it, fucking shut up, brain.
Yeah, right. Yeah. And it's like your lights are off. There's no TV on, your phone's not on. You're just lying looking at the ceiling. Your brain's going, let me remind you of all the mistakes you've made in your life. I'm like, fuck, man.
I'll fucking get up and do something.
Oh, you remember? Or my favorite thing, like, remember that thing that you did 10 years ago? We're gonna think about that right now. Like, why?
Mine's the thing that gets me now. The thing that because I have like an incredible OCD issue. It peaks pretty substantially and like affects my actual small things in my day. Anything, like pouring water, it's like a disaster. But my brain will go. I'll like get excited. I'll be like, okay, tomorrow I'm doing this. And like one of those things is something I'm particularly excited about, or something I'm particularly not excited about. It's always like an extreme. And I'll be lying in bed and my brain will go, remember that thing you're supposed to do tomorrow? Do it now. And I'll go, no. I've planned it. It's going to happen tomorrow, right? It's going to happen at X time tomorrow. And it's like,
man, I know that feeling.
Yeah, but imagine if you did it now and then you could like do something else in that time. And I'm literally going, dude, I'm going to need you to shut the fuck up. I need to sleep. My brain's like, okay, man, you go to sleep. And then it's like, oh man, think about the rest you could have. And I'm like, Jesus. And then I just get up and I go and do the thing, which could be something stupid like take out the trash. It could be something stupid like get your clothes off the line and fold them. Like it's insignificant sometimes, but it's always like future stuff for me at the moment that kills me.
I always give in and do it. Like that's been my philosophy lately. I just been like, I'm gonna sit here for 2 hours and thinking about it. I'd rather just fucking get up and do it. I don't know if that's good or bad, but like
you look at the chat, like everyone's struggling with sleep. Like this is just a sign of the times.
It's like the last BAND-MAID video I put out. Like I had that inspiration at fucking 10 o'clock at night when I was supposed to be in bed. And I'm like, God damn it. So I set up writing a script. I'm like, all right. I'm not gonna be able to sleep if I don't say what I think about this song. So I was like, just sat there typing. And then finally it actually helped. I typed it all out and I was like, cool, filmed it real quick. And I went to bed. I was like, that seemed like the work the best because the next day I just edited it because I got all the thoughts out and I was actually able to sleep in peace for a little bit. But that doesn't always work. That's like once in a lifetime thing. That's like once every month.
That makes sense to me though. Like you're picking an opportunity of because creativity doesn't just happen always. Like you're going, I feel like I'm motivated to do it now. I do it now. That makes complete sense. I also don't know how the hell. I know everyone's got like different structures, but I have no idea how the hell you guys do like the videos that you do where like there's so much pre, during, and post stuff required to do it. Now the output speaks for itself, it's all great, but like there's so much energy that you guys put into like mine are the easiest videos on earth to form. Let me be clear, the thing I try and do is I have to get like real settled, real calm, real quiet, and I take the whole active listening thing as seriously as I can. I don't take myself seriously, but you got to get your head in a bit of a, I'm not meditating, but you got to get your head in a little bit of a space, but that's it, right? So I do that. And then I film the video and my editing process is sometimes 15 minutes.
Yeah. I know what you mean. Good. Like it's always hit and miss, because I agree with you. Some of the videos that like, I feel the same way where it's like you put them up, you're like, well, there's no effort to this. And that's why in the early days with the reactions, I would go insane with the editing. But then it got too much because you're like, because then it's just demoralizing because you either get it blocked or it gets taken down and you're just like, and then like,
oh my god,
work into it. That block really hurts.
Yeah, it really does. Yeah, I
actually just quit editing my reaction videos like this past week because I don't know. I appreciate that low editing approach because it's so much more genuine and authentic. Like you're actually in a room hanging out with the person as they experience the song and give their thoughts, and so. I'm just like, save my editing time for like the more commentary video essay style stuff. Yeah. And just put out my reactions on
I just realized here lately that
I
like doing a live stream and doing some reactions then. And then because you actually get to interact with somebody instead of pretending you're interacting with somebody.
Yeah. You're freezing up. Ryan,
we missed like as soon as you were said. I just realized.
I get the same thing with you guys too.
Yeah,
get janky.
It's only you might not have gotten that Zoom update. That's what normally happens if not everybody has that new update.
Yeah.
Right.
Might be
really
that.
Curious what Ryan said though.
I think what he was saying was that's why he likes doing the live stream.
I can say it again.
Oh, you're back. Well, you froze. You froze. I didn't know you were still there.
So lately, I started doing more live streams, and I'll throw some reactions in there. And when I can do that and communicate with people instead of pretending I'm talking to somebody, it's so much more enjoyable for me, and I get immediate feedback with it, and then I can chop them out. And I mean, I had a certain way I was doing things, but it like Chase,
He's just freezing robotic.
it takes a lot of time, you know. And it got there. I'm still working on that same list, and it's shit's passed.
Yep.
Yeah.
You
kind of froze
I
in
agree.
and out.
There's definitely pros
But
and
yeah,
cons
we got
to
it, I
each
think.
way. Like, I really like doing live stream reactions, but at the same time, I have ADHD, so my focus goes to the chat sometimes, and I'm not.
That would be the
giving
end
song
of
the full
me.
attention.
That'd be the end of me if I did, because I thought about doing live stream as the only way I could get it to be a little bit quicker in moments where I like this last week, like I didn't have like pretty much any time to film unless it was like a quick thing. But people already are like, look at this fucking guy turned a 3-minute song into a 20-minute video, and that's filmed and edited. Like, I mean, there's no edits, there's no cuts, it's one take. But the if I was doing that live, man, you pack a lunch for that shit. That's a day and a half.
Yeah, for me, like when I edit the video, it's more only just to cut out the pauses or long, like winded parts or where I don't say anything. We do it live like Ryan does. We've been doing that for a while, and I agree with Ryan. That's much better, like to interact with someone, because, you know, even though I have someone with me, I mean, I guess it's a little bit easier because Eric and I can like bounce ideas and stuff like that. But that does get old after a while, you know, and then it's fun to talk with the chat. And it's kind of funny because Eric and I argue about every song most of the time, so we like are always in complete disagreement sometimes. So,
that's what makes it interesting,
right? He likes the one style of music that I don't like, and we'll both say stupid stuff. So it just pretty much turns into a reaction to a song and us calling each other out on our bullshit. Pretty much the whole reaction. I've only done one ever like collab, which is with Julia. We did film Julia and Ireland. We did 2 videos. We did 2 Nightwish videos, like one for her thing and one for mine. Mm-hmm. And those were like, we did like a chemistry call first, because you don't know what it's going to be like if you're chatting to someone about music. Just because you kind of have a similar approach to something doesn't mean it's going to work out well. But she actually came out. Speaking of, she came out to Knott's to come and visit like a week ago. Something like that. We hung out. She's awesome. She's great. But awesome. Yeah, I've only done one of those because like everyone will go, oh, you don't pause, you pause too much, you do this, you do all this bullshit. And then you do it with someone else and then they don't pause enough. And it's like, oh, you can't win. You just can't goddamn win with this shit. So, I mean, we'll do more. We spoke about it. Like we will do more, but I mean, it's just, it's much more fun in person than doing it through Zoom. I mean, we do it through Zoom and I mean, it's great and that's definitely possible. But man, when you have the person right next to you, it's so much different. It really is. It does make a world of difference, like to do those reactions. I mean, we do like a group reaction, and it can get difficult too. But luckily, you have her there with you, so that's awesome.
Yeah, that works. Like that's what I kind of like saw the appeal of talking it through with somebody. It definitely was like, oh, this adds like a whole new dynamic because they're saying things about a thing you wish you had the knowledge to talk about.
Yeah,
which is really wonderful because I mean, I'm out there like, hey, listen to the chest voice. I don't know what the fuck I'm saying.
Yeah, and also it works too. Like you don't have to like feel like you're repeating yourself also over and over and over again. You know, it breaks it up a little bit, so you have more of a chance to do it. So,
and you get questions. So like she was saying like a thing. So like basically the not the rule, but basically the approach was whoever's video it is. So like say it was for me and I was actually like controlling the stopping of it. I would speak first and then she'd speak, or hypothetically, if it was her video, she would speak. But then she says something, and then while she's talking through it, she goes, "Oh, and I heard that over this, and like, what is that?" And then so you're getting asked a question that you weren't actually going to ever talk about because you didn't think it was a question to start with. So that was super interesting. That was like really cool.
That is true, and I didn't realize I was missing that until Eric left. Because Eric would ask me questions because like he's knowledgeable in some things. And then I'm knowledgeable in other things, and he would ask me mixing questions. But when he wasn't there, I didn't remember to talk about the mix at all until later on. You know, I know people probably will be like, Alan, you always talk about it, but no, Eric actually incited a lot of it, because Eric would be like, what the hell is being played right there? And we'll be like, oh, let's listen to it again and like really break it down. But when you're on your own, you kind of just like gloss over it, you know?
Yeah.
And
so I was just gonna say, when me and Rosie react together, she notices things I would have never noticed, just like you're talking about. And like when the four of us guys do reactions together, we all have kind of a similar perspective because we all play music and stuff. But Rosie notices things that I would have never thought of.
Yeah.
And so I can break it down after she asks about it, or usually I don't even know what the heck's going on. But, you know, it makes a more interesting conversation.
For sure. Like the singer from Beautiful Skeletons, she joined us. She's joining us on Wednesdays for like live reactions. She notices all the visual aspects of it, like that we kind of just ignore in the music video. She's like, "Wait, what the hell's going on right there?" And we're like, "Oh shit, yeah, what is happening right there?"
Nice.
Like, you know,
It's
which
funny.
is
Since I started doing wedding videography, now I notice the actual videography behind the camera a lot more now. It's like, it's weird how that happens.
Yeah. Tina's asking why Rich is frozen. He's not frozen. He's here and he's alive. He's just really confused right now by the conversation.
Just thinking. Yeah,
he's just thinking. He's really deep in thought. I don't know how he keeps his face as still. It's pretty impressive. Ryan made himself invisible. We're not sure what's going on there. He's
he might be rebooting that modem, that router.
Yeah, I think he's going through a hard reboot. He's trying to find the update button still on Zoom, and
I'll try to walk him through.
I don't know how to explain it because I have a Mac, so I don't know. I know it's different on there, but it's a really cool trick that Ryan figured out to go invisible. Very good.
Yeah.
Dara says one can always talk about personal interpretation of music, the atmosphere it creates. The person with more knowledge may give input like that can be done with this or that technique or whatever. That's very true.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Sometimes it's
go
ahead, Chase.
Sorry, I say it's a difficult. I mean, like people always whenever like I did the first thing with Julia, and then everyone was like, "Oh man, imagine if you had this person for this person for this." But like they create like the little like their own little Avengers of reactions for like songs and but I think I do think it gets to a point where like it actually won't work. Purely, it's like for me, it's just a chemistry thing. Like we could sit and have a chat. I'm pretty sure if we were in a room or we're doing it like this, we could chat all day, right? Chat all day, go for dinner, do whatever. And then there's sometimes where it's like you'll get through like the thing you need to do with certain people, but it may not be like the creative like thing you think it will be, because I think like it does come down to chemistry as above maybe what your specialist thing is. Like if that foundation is missing, you don't have a video.
I have a couple people I've done interviews with that were just really like, oh, this is rough. And I'm like, I can't wait until this is over. You know, definitely have been in those situations. And like, cause some people make it like really hard to do. Like it's really like, I don't know. It can be a miscommunication, or sometimes it's like takes a moment to warm up and get into it. Sometimes it's like instant, you know? I know the one like we did with Tina was like kind of interesting because we now she's like doing the reactions with us permanently, but like in the beginning where like it started off with us like talking shit about her song and it turned into a great thing. So it was like it was the greatest thing we did.
That's awesome, man.
So
I love that kind of like happy accident stuff.
Yeah, because we reacted to her song live. We had a Patreon supporter like request it and we did it. And after we did it, we were like, oh, and you can see the disgust in our face about the song. We're like, it's not our thing. And like Eric decided that day to go in. He's like calling it all kinds of stuff like, it's like dad rock or like the kind of song that. And then she comments on the video, took it awesome, like a champ, and then was like, it's great that you guys didn't like it. She put some comment. I'll pull it up right now. She put some long message. saying like, "Oh, that's great. That's not your guys' style," and had some sarcastic comments back at us. And she's like, "Hey, if you want another song to shit on, check out our other song." and I responded to that.
Marketing, man.
Right? I responded to that message like, "Hey, how about you come on for an interview?" So then
Cool had a response though.
so yeah.
I like that, man. That's like, you got to write it sometimes. Like, what are you gonna do? You're not gonna change someone's mind. Like, it's not gonna fucking happen. You get that all the time with people who. I had a guy. I really thought this was super interesting. I had a guy comment recently on something, and he was like, "Well, it's not too recent actually, but he was like, I knew this was gonna be shit."
Yeah.
And I was like,
That's it.
well, two things have happened. One, you went in real pessimistic, fucker. That's the first thing. And the second thing is you won. You were right. So like, we're good. But like, that's the people go in with a certain particular mindset sometimes to things. And if you even say a single word that just deviates ever so slightly from what they think is what they know to be the truth, then you are going to be the enemy. So like, I find that kind of response of just writing it and going, cool, man. I love that. Like, if you want to shit on, looking for another shit video, like we got plenty more. That's classic. I love that.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm fixing Everett. Yeah, and then with her, it just worked out. So we ended up doing an interview of us saying she's confronting us for talking shit about her song, and then it turned into us doing reactions with her, and it was great. It was awesome.
That's
so we
funny.
got to
So
see her
funny.
face react to Maximum the Hormone, and that was great.
Oh,
Good
nice.
stuff. Fixing our thing. Ryan's back.
Sorry.
Hey, Ryan.
Perfect.
I love
Hi.
that new trick you learned about how to go invisible. That was really amazing.
It still went all fucking robot on me, so I don't know.
You find that update button.
Who Chase, disappear and update your shit.
I think it might be a connection with the internet or something. Maybe.
Yeah.
But because you said ours is going robot too, but I think on our end and internet. And this is the other thing that could happen too when you have like the thing of people not being in person. Internet issues is always a thing. I've been plagued with it, unfortunately. But
So you guys, everything you guys are seeing is fine. Maybe it's just me.
well, yeah.
Yeah, Ryan, you're the only one that's cut up for me, but
Yeah. But you're good now. We can hear you now. You're all set now.
All right.
We're here for you. I'll be like your emotional support spirit animal.
yes.
Yeah.
Badger.
My
Badger and French
French
bulldog.
bull badger.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, man. Sounds like a great pet.
So what have you been listening to now since the last month? What have you been playing or listening to?
To be honest, not a whole lot. Like,
Not a lot.
this is gonna sound fucking wild as well, but like, I don't actually listen to that much music.
Mm-hmm.
Let me be clear. Like, when I go to the store or when I do whatever, I got like a playlist of stuff I love. I'll put on and it just plays whatever, But I think I'm convinced that I listen to a whole lot less music than I think people think I do. Because like, I had a chat with someone recently, a guy who's a BAND-MAID fan, had a video chase. He's an author, and we were having like this chat, and I think he was like, "Oh, I just assumed you worked in the music industry. Like, I assumed you just worked in like something to do with, I don't know, labels or whatever, or production." I was like, I had nothing to do with that. My job has literally nothing to do with that. I think that's probably one of those things is that. But like on my playlist, the stuff that I've really liked, probably just been Ice Nine Kills, if I'm honest with you. Like, that's kind of the wormhole I'm in. But I have like a limited amount of songs that I've heard that I'm not trying to spoil the others. So like, it's more like an on repeat thing. I feel like a bit of a lunatic, like I'm stalking them.
Yeah.
Yeah, you were talking about that last time with the reactions. I was gonna say I'm listening to a lot of podcasts, so that's what happens to me, kind of steering away from listening to a lot of music. I get caught up in 2-hour podcasts all the time, so that's what I'm mainly listening to. Like when I'm at the gym running and stuff, I'm listening to podcasts a lot. I'm always trying to learn something, and that's what kind of stops me from listening to a significant amount of music, because that's all I do all day when it comes to like editing the videos and mixing it or recording. So like on my off time, sometimes it's hard to like just sit back and go listen to. That's why I love doing the live streams, doing album reviews, because I'm like, finally I can sit down and listen to the whole album, because I don't really do that much when I'm at the gym. I don't listen to music. I listen to podcasts and stuff.
Same.
Right.
I mean, I don't. Sorry, just quickly on that. I don't like. I don't want to like. I also like a. I don't want to hear a song like and go, oh man, that would have been brilliant to like do as a video. Or, like, I know that's not the way to think about it, but I also have a hard time like switching off and not trying to go hey, I bet you in the background 4 layers away there's a elf with a symbol. Like I just want to hear the song sometimes. It's just like that, and I do have a real hard time. One of the things which is actually like, as I was about the active listening thing, one of the things that has been the most helpful for me is going to like pubs. I'll go. I'm not even like necessarily drinking or anything. I'm just sitting in a room with people talking and trying to pick someone across the room and trying to hear what they say. Cause like you can do that, right? That's like a real thing you can do. That's been like one of the most helpful things. And that just somehow translates to music. But yeah, it's mostly podcasts for me as well.
Yeah, I'm feeling on the reaction thing. So I just recently made a decision to like not give a fuck. I'm going to listen to whatever comes on. I don't care anymore. Yeah. And if there is a because that really messed with my head, like always, because every moment it's so bad. I'll be sitting there at dinner and something funny will happen with my wife. I'm like, damn, it'd been crazy if we recorded that. I'm like, no.
Yeah, dude.
Or like I was talking with Joey this morning, the guy that you guys met, and we were having an hour conversation, and again I was like, man, this would have been a great podcast. I'm like, fuck, like stop thinking that way. Like
it's okay just to enjoy things.
Yes.
Just to do them, just to enjoy them. I done that too, man. And yeah, it's hard. It's like you don't have to record everything. I got bands that I love that I know would make great reactions that I just listen to, and I don't even talk about them that much. I just enjoy it. And some of them I've mentioned how much, like Unleash the Archers, I love it. I love it to death, and I listen to it a lot. And I don't want to sit there and fucking analyze it. I just want to enjoy it. Ninga Nisu, same way. I fucking love that band, dude. And I just want to listen to it, you know.
You gave me such a fucking flashback. I remember like forever ago, there was like a time when I was doing Unleash the Archers, and I did a 1 or 2 chats with Brittany, and her and I were supposed to do like a dual thing to like what's that fucking song? A wind that shapes the land. I think it's something like that. Is one of them. So I haven't heard that one, right? So everyone's like, you got to hear that one. You got to hear that one, because apparently it's. I assume there's something about it that makes it even greater than some of the other stuff they do, which is awesome. And now you saying that, I'm like, fuck, that's what I want to do. That's like one I want. I haven't listened to them for I can't tell you how long. So thank you for that.
Yeah.
That song. I love that fucking song, dude. That's a great song. The imagery in that song.
Well, another thing you can do too, like that I realized, worst case scenario, which not even a worst case, you just do a video about, hey, further thoughts on this song. Here's my further reaction. I've already heard it, but this is, wow, I didn't realize that the first time I listened to it. So still, you can still do a reaction even after the fact of listening to it. Because something I realized is I've heard so many songs. And I can react to it again. We can put BAND-MAID Unleash on right now, and I'll have something new from it if we put it on right now. Yeah. I can react to something. Like there's something to talk about in that song. There's just those songs that you can just do that with. Ryan could probably play Niganisu and still be like, oh shit, this is didn't realize this was in here. You know, like it's so easy to do. So that's why I don't stress about it anymore. Before I used to stress about it. Now I'm like, hey, maybe Eric hasn't heard it and Eric can hear it, and I can be like, hey, dude, did you hear that part? Or like, or stuff like that. So
same. Like that's another transition I've been trying to make is just enjoy the song on my first time reaction. You know, just experience it and not try to pick it apart too much, because I can always do that later. You know.
Yeah.
I apologize. I got to go.
About it.
My parents' car broke down.
Oh no!
So I got to go help them out.
Oh man!
So Chase, I'd love to talk to you more, but we'll talk.
Yeah, no worries, bud. We'll have a chat. That's right. Hope it goes well.
Buddy, I'll see you around.
All right. Let me here give a nice. Damn, he left. I was like, make a face. Fuck, he left. He left before I could do it.
Dude, Wave, you seem like the calmest, nicest guy. Like, I feel like I can trust you with shit. how do you put yourself on the internet being such a nice person?
Thank you. I don't know.
It's such a traumatizing place. I'm just like my first
I ignore a
instinct
lot
is
of
like,
comments.
yeah. It's like my first instinct is like, we must protect him at all costs.
Well, something that Wave always tells me is like, I don't think I'm that nice. That's what normally Wave tells me all the time.
Dude, you're so nice, you might be a serial killer. Like, that's the only way. Like, you're too nice. I'm starting to not trust you right now.
Like 5 seconds ago, you're like, I feel like
Yeah, maybe something's up here. Hang on a second. Hang on. Maybe something's up over here. Yeah, I'm gonna give it a couple minutes. Starts like moving the bodies with his
Fair
feet.
enough.
We meet Chase in person, and then only Wave walks away.
Yeah. Like, hey man, how was the meetup with Chase? And Wave's like, I don't know, he didn't pitch up. Like, everyone's like, cool, then why are you wearing his skin?
Wow.
Oh man.
Do you ever get like really friendly people on the internet that are like, you know, I'm gonna assume they really mean well. Genuinely, I assume they mean well. But like, they'll say some wild shit. Like, I'll go, "Hey, I'm coming to Wave the Ripper." Exactly. No, but like, I'll go, I'm coming to San Francisco, and then they'll go, "Hey man, if you're ever in Oregon, I got tickets to a show. You stay at my house." I'm like, "Fuck no." Thank you so much for being kind, but
Oh man, maybe I should be careful with that. I always say yes to everyone. I'm like, yeah, sure, I'll stay over. That's probably not the greatest
again, these
idea.
people I'm not trying to be a dick. If these people are probably genuinely like great people who want to help,
They probably.
Man, I've seen too many documentaries.
Right. That's why I always only want to meet up in public.
Yeah, they're like a coffee shop. It's like you're going on a first date.
We were just talking about podcasts, and I actually spent like 2 or 3 years not listening to any new music because I was listening to true crime podcasts all the time.
Oh yeah.
And
There's this like
so
new Dharma
now,
stuff out now. I need to see.
Like, I'm just suspicious of everyone.
But
yeah,
You should be.
I'm actually like a super shy person until I get to know people. So like,
So was Bundy. So was Ted Bundy. You're not helping yourself, my
You're
dude.
not helping at all.
You are not helping.
Oh man.
Why am I reversed all of a sudden?
It's because I was setting up a better scene, but then I just noticed Champ's trying to come in. I'm like, God damn it! I already switched. I just switched to another.
Oh my god. Hey, make it real awkward. Just go full on Wave's face. Just go full on Wave's face, and then change it in the background. Everyone just has to look at you.
That could be the thumbnail, and the title is "Wave a Serial Killer."
Is Wave a Serial killer?
Yeah.
That's the new title of this. This is
How can you not click on that?
We're playing
Captain Cruncher Bones. Yeah.
A part of me doesn't want to like let Champ in. I'm sorry, Champ. I just don't want to let you in anymore. Just kidding. Oh, he said they lost
he
power.
lost power.
Just kidding. All right, I'll let you in. Fuck, here we go. Scene change, guys. I'm gonna give everybody. Hey, we should probably put like a thing up that says warning, flashing images or something.
Photosensitive epilepsy. This is one for Spotify, I think. This is one.
This is a Spotify one.
This is one.
5 days to edit.
There he is.
Champ, you were here the whole time. Don't worry. I don't know why you're.
Yeah, you were here, dude.
Yeah, you were
You just
here.
paused.
Your expression said everything.
I saw as soon as I turned it on, I was just like, "Damn, I look really good today." I haven't looked in the mirror yet, but I'm pulling this off.
You woke up late and went, "Fuck, I made it." Actually,
I am so sorry, guys. So we actually that fucking storm that's been coming up the East Coast knocked out our power last night. I didn't even realize it knocked out our power until I woke up 40 minutes ago or whatever, and I was like, "Shit, we have no power, and my phone is dead." And I was like, I don't know what the fuck to do about any of this. I was like,
man.
how do I even tell anybody that my power is gone without my phone?
Oh man.
So I've been downstairs in my basement trying to stop the water from sneaking in from underneath the concrete to start. It's trying to flood our basement currently, but I've set up some 2x4s to kind of like maneuver the water from angle it towards like a hole in the ground, and I'm hoping that does something. But I've made it. I am here now. Our power is back. I don't think we're flooding right now. And how are you, Chase?
Man, I'm good. I'm good. I've missed you thoroughly. Glad you're back. And we're finding out some things about Wave, man.
Oh,
yeah. So Wave's a serial killer.
Chase is
and-
on me.
Yeah.
Yeah. We just realized he might be the next
Yeah.
Ted Bundy. So
I didn't hear an argument.
I don't know if I know enough to argue right now.
Yeah,
Shit,
Champ-
you guys seem to know
Champ's
more
That's
than
the
me.
point.
no. Champ was like, "You guys found out just now." That's the vibe I got. He's like, "What? I've known this the whole time. You guys are just realizing this."
You know, we all have our thoughts in our head. We don't say them out loud though.
Champ just filmed these pieces for like a new Netflix doc about you. Don't know it's coming out yet.
Oh man. Hey, I thought Ryan was here too. I feel like I
Ryan-
turned it on and I saw Ryan.
Ryan hasn't been here the whole time.
Oh, he had to go fix a car.
Wow, I'm losing my mind then.
Yeah, no, I'm just kidding. He was here.
Oh shit, I totally believed you for a second there. I was like, oh man, I am really, really struggling today, aren't I?
No, I think his parents' car breakdown or something, so he's off for that.
Yeah. So,
Oh, damn, that sucks.
Since you are always hosting, you should have scenes ready for OBS. I do have them ready, but it doesn't help when people leave. If people leave, it doesn't matter.
Yeah,
So
when Zoom adjusts, that changes the whole screen.
yeah,
Yeah.
adjusts the screen size and stuff. But I normally have it set up, and then when you have multiple scenes, but you have to. It's hard to explain. But anyways, the point
my
is
gosh,
we
Chase.
fixed it.
Okay, I feel like I need to do this now. I'm not a serial killer.
Yeah, I have a 3-person, 4-person, as you saw. That's why I switched so quickly, Dever. By the way, otherwise, trust me, that would have not happened so smoothly switching over. But what was I gonna say? I don't know. Hey, well, welcome, champ. I'm glad you woke
Hi.
up.
Yeah.
You were like,
I had no idea Ian was going that far north. Like, you actually have water pouring into your house?
Yeah, but we're in a flood zone. So like it's not that hard for that to happen. All we really need is a heavy rain and then we start getting the leaks in the basement. So it's just, we live in this dip right next to a lake. So anytime it rains, this lake or this river, excuse me, just starts kind of pushing it slowly over and it goes slowly down to us. So within like a few hours, we always have a leak in our basement if there's any heavy rain at all. And it's heavy raining on and off. So, but I don't think we're getting like the big hurricane over here. It doesn't seem like it, at least. I feel like we would have already started to get like the big winds and stuff like that. But we did have some crazy winds last night, but I don't even think that was a hurricane. It knocked out our fucking power though. Like it's so easy for this place to get destroyed, honestly. But you learn to live with it. You learn to live with it. When the rent is as cheap as the rent that I'm paying right now, you say, okay, every once in a while the house gets
a bit of water.
destroyed.
Yeah.
It's all
Glad you're
good.
safe.
Yeah, we're fine. We're fine. So what were you guys talking about besides Wave being a serial killer?
that's pretty much was it. We're breaking down how Wave's a serial killer.
Just getting the channel demonetized.
Right now, he's trying to tell people. Does that demonetize you saying you're a serial killer?
Surely not. How would all these how would all these true crime podcasts exist?
Yeah.
Patreon.
And all of those YouTube channels are like, I used to be in jail. Like it'll be like ex-prisoner reacts.
Well,
And
I
you're
ran
like,
a
oh,
crime
okay.
podcast for a
Don't
while.
get me
and
started on that.
Every
like,
single video got demonetized.
Of
Or
what?
limited ads, I should say.
Oh, really? Wait, say it again, Wave?
Yeah.
Your volume went down for some reason.
We ran a true crime podcast for a while, and every single video I posted on YouTube would get demonetized.
Oh, really?
Mm.
Fuck. But what did it say in the title? Did it say like I'm murdering someone or something like that?
No,
or?
it was literally just like names and like a little tagline. But I think they would like scan for certain words in the audio, and then if certain words were in there, it would.
So I wonder if those big like true crime podcasts, they all get demonetized also, but they just make so much money off of ad sponsorships that it doesn't even matter.
Yeah, that and Patreon, I think.
Yeah, because a lot of people do love those
Yeah.
videos. So like that's really crazy that they pushed that down. I mean,
Did you were age restricted in them all?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's just crazy. It's crazy that they do that.
Yeah, I would imagine it's really hard to set up all that stuff for YouTube when they're getting like millions of new videos every day.
Yeah.
Like crazy.
Yeah, I wonder if other channels get demonetized for that. They have to, right? I mean, I found out the other day, like people get demonetized for like talking about like pee jokes. Like that's a thing. If you make like pee jokes or if you sneeze and shit like that.
If you sneeze,
Yeah, like it can ruin your retention, or they like push it down further. I'm like, I don't know how true that is, but like,
Oh
goddamn,
my gosh, was that a Mr. Beast video talking about
it
the
was.
pee jokes? I just watched that video last
Yeah.
night.
I was like, I don't know how true that is, but yeah, I watched that. That's where I heard it from.
That's the best
We must
comment
have the
ever.
same algorithm, Alan.
Yeah,
AJ
we do.
Hilton says
No,
YouTube doesn't like content. That's
Wait-
so accurate.
Wave,
Unless it's from mainstream media.
Wave and I are in the
That's fine.
same fucking algorithm because like every time I mention a video, he's like, "Yo, I watched that yesterday." Yeah, me too. We're watching the
They
same
know.
exact
They know.
videos.
the same
What-
recommended sections.
What was the,
yeah,
what
I
was
think
the other video, Wave, that we both like were like talking
Spiffing
about?
Brit.
Oh yeah, the spiffing Brit. I mentioned, I'm like, hey guys, you hear about this hack? And then Wave's like, oh, the spiffing Brit. I'm like, what the fuck?
It's like YouTube edging with the premiere time.
YouTube edging.
I know, I know it. Wave and I
Jesus.
watched.
Keep scheduling out for 15 minutes more in the future to get more
Yeah,
impressions.
we tried it this morning. It worked.
I'll just show up 15 minutes late every time if this is going to help you guys.
I mean, oh man. Yeah.
You know, it's funny though. Some channels are really good at like avoiding the copyrights and stuff like that, but some of them have like people on the inside that are helping them out on an everyday basis. You know what I mean? So it's like those bigger channels, even if they're like doing the things that the algorithm might not love, it doesn't even matter because they've got like an inside man that'll be like, okay, that's manually checking the copyright, letting things go through, and like making sure that your video is getting pushed, you know. And I'm not just like I'm not pulling this out of my ass. Like they've actually talked, like some of the channels have talked about this like publicly
I know-
about how they have people on side.
I know
side doing
exactly what you're talking about. So what it's called is after you get a million subscribers, you get a representative from YouTube that you work with that helps you. So it has
Well, even before a million, like the first thing I was thinking was Blind Wave. You know that channel Blind Wave?
some channels will have a lawyer, but they're paying that on expense. You don't get a YouTube representative unless I don't think you can pay for them, but it's after a million, you get the actual person that works for Google. Like that represents.
I don't
your
think that's
channel.
what I was thinking of though, because they were saying that they were like, well, they have like almost a million. They have 800,000 viewers, but they were talking about how they have like a YouTube guy. They were like, this guy works for YouTube, and he works directly with us anytime that we have an issue. So we just call him up.
That's a
and he works-
representative. That's
Okay,
weird
well,
that they.
then I guess they got it. They somehow figured out a way to get it before a million.
They may just know a guy because like my brother is like a pretty big shot in the marketing world, and one of his clients is like he works a lot with Google, and there's a guy who does like a lot of not directly related to like the copyright thing, but he works within the YouTube world, and my brother kind of was out for lunch with him asking because I can't earn an income. I'm not part of the YouTube partnership program. I had to opt out. So the minute that I did that, he told my brother, he's like, oh yeah, it's gonna take him 70 years to get anywhere. It's like they're just gonna crunch that shit hard as they can.
Yeah.
He's just honest about it because they're not gonna, so they may just know a guy who's kind of in there and they can reach out to.
You could probably hire somebody that's
could be.
off. Like, I don't know what the rules are at Google. It could be just like a side hustle that person's doing too. They could be like offering their services and give them inside inside look, but
Yeah, if because we know just like they have individual abilities to decide what's going on. Like you know, some of the people that work there, like it'll be like a one-on-one conversation with that person in the channel, and that person can actually make the decision of what's going to happen with your video, like if it's going to be, you know, copyrighted and stuff like that. Which is kind of crazy that it can come down to one person. But like, I mean, even if that's the case, it's better than not being able to, you know, like the smaller channels like us. I mean, I wouldn't even know where the fuck to go. You know what I mean? Like, if there's an issue with what's going on YouTube, I'd just be done. I'd be like, okay, well, I'm done.
You can just ask us, champ. You just ask us. We got you.
Okay, here, I got a question for you. My AdSense has stopped collecting my money off of YouTube. What do I do? I reached out to everybody that I possibly could and have gotten zero responses.
You didn't get the email about that? There's a glitch in the system, so they're working on it, and they said be patient and give them a couple months to get it fixed. So there's a bunch of accounts that actually are getting fucked over with AdSense.
Months? Are you kidding me? It's already been 2 months.
For a couple months.
I'll grab the email for you, send it to you. So they
Thank
send
you.
an
They'll
email.
most definitely like back pay, but they're gonna fuck people over in the meantime. Obviously.
Yeah, exactly. So what happened was, they're aware of it. And I got scared too, because I'm like, wait a second, what? So I had to go check my AdSense. I'm like, what the fuck? And luckily my account wasn't, but Champ's was. Champ, you seem to get all the fucked up shit from Google. How do you pull this off?
So this has been a long time coming, my friend. I've been studying, practicing on how to fuck up your life for 37 years at this point. So people have they've just caught on, and they've been like, you know what, dude, you don't have to do this all on your own. We're gonna help you fuck up your life.
You're what we'd call a thriving success.
Oh man,
oh my god.
My mom she'd get mad at me. She'd be like, Rich, like, again, you're dealing with this shit again? And I'd be like, you know, it's not my fault. And she'd be like, yeah, I know, but I got to deal with it too every time now. You know? And I'd be like, yeah, you're right. I'm sorry. I am just like a magnet for awfulness. I apologize to you guys for whatever is going to happen to us at some point.
Or, let's turn this front upside down. Or you're just experiencing like all the minor small things that happen to people over like 10 years, getting it out the way, and there's just good shit from then on.
You think like 40 on, I'm just gonna have like this magnificent
65, easy,
going
65.
Okay, so I still got to deal with another 30 years of this. But then at that point, so I just have to make sure I don't die by 65. I might have a decent.
But bro, if you make it to 65, you're good. What if he dies at 65? Would that be a good thing or a bad thing? I mean, I guess you wouldn't have problems anymore.
That would be the final, bad experience.
You might get your funeral paid for. I don't know. Might be real nice, like good food and stuff. I'm not sure.
Yeah, at least you don't have to worry about
part of the plan. That's why all the bad stuff will be over.
Yeah, Wave's not going to come after you until 65, so you're good. So Wave's coming for all of us first.
Thank you, sir.
100%. Yeah.
All right.
Like every day, he wakes up and you go and you just like you stab pillows and get all the anger out so you can like put on the calm demeanor, be real patient, real nice. At the end of the day, you're like, you're just out in the woods, like throwing things. You're too calm, you're too nice.
Rosie would be so pissed if I stabbed her pillows.
That's what he took out of what I just said.
That's proof right there that he's
that's evidence.
He's scared. He's scared to kill a pillow, bro. I don't think he could kill a human.
He's literally
that's a cover-up.
Stab her pillows. She'd be furious. I go in my stab room. It's like, what?
This is a cover-up. He's just making it seem like he doesn't like to go after pillows. You know. It started with pillows.
Carved up all these old soundproofing into the shape of a person. It's just like,
you know what, Chase? You have a lot of ideas about how this can get done, and I'm starting to think that maybe he's not the only serial killer on this podcast.
Hey, easy. I'm here on a visa.
Oh my god!
Anyway, I gotta go. Just kidding. But seriously, I do have to leave in like 8 minutes because we have a wedding to shoot today.
Oh, nice one.
With cameras.
Oh wow, that got me right there. I had to think about that one for a second.
That was good, nice.
So wait, you telling me you actually film all of this?
That was a good joke, man. Man, probably the best one ever on this podcast.
Classic. Oh, that's true, dude. You could get your funeral live streamed and you won't have any copyrights. That's the good thing that's gonna happen.
Oh, there you go. You might get the AdSense from your funeral.
Finally.
During my funeral, my family can collect that $314 that I've amassed over the last 3 years.
I'm crying. This is amazing.
Hopefully your funeral brings in millions of views, and
It'll get copyrighted anyway. You know, I'll have in my will that they have to blast some fucking BAND-MAID song over the speakers. And
No, you know what'll happen? Like typical YouTube, people get the notification like 10 minutes before it ends. It's like gone live. That's like the typical thing. Everyone's like, hey man, love your video. Got the notification a bit late. I'm like, it was 2 days ago. It was 2 days ago. You just fucking got it. Like, I've had a birthday since then. What the fuck are we talking about?
And by then, my stream has been blocked and come back and blocked again. And yeah.
The worst
That's
part of your
Wave's thing.
family.
He goes around YouTube finding reactors, and he does what he calls the copy strike. So he's getting rid of the competition.
I mean,
man.
honestly, I might have to support that decision.
Yeah,
Make sure we're the only ones left, Wave.
there's
Before
too many reactions. I'm definitely probably in one of those too many's, but there's loads of it. Like I don't watch reaction videos really. Genuinely don't watch like hardly any. But like my whole feed is just filled, mostly music, just filled with them. And they're all. That's like the other thing is the other day I was just clicking on a few. I was like, oh man, who are these people? Like they're all brand new. They're all like a couple months old. So I think it's definitely the trend is definitely hidden up peak where it's just. I think people just think they can come in and make loads of money off of it. I guess is the thing.
Can I ask why you don't watch reaction videos?
Because they're boring.
Well, no, I just.
I disagree entirely with
some
that.
are boring,
but
some are boring. I
oh,
gotta say.
most are boring. But you can find that rare specimen who can just hold your attention. But
Yeah.
is it just music
Like Chase.
reactions that you don't watch, or is it like all reactions in general? You just don't really get into it.
Well, I have this theory that kind of everything is a reaction. I was saying last time I was on here that like even Top Gear, as an example, is a reaction video because they don't build the cars. They have nothing to do with that. They just drive them and tell you how they feel. It's just like very high budget. It's very high produced. They're actual experts. It's a reaction video. It's just like a long one and it's brilliant and does its thing. I'm not a car guy, but I can recognize that. So
Yeah.
when it comes, it's more specifically around music. And this is going to come off like a real arsehole while saying this, but I'm okay with it. True to character. A lot of them are just very bad. It is effectively, I'm pretty good with like people, and you can tell very quickly if somebody just wants to do a reaction channel because they just want to try it out and they want to explore music and stuff. To me, that's awesome. Like, go ahead and do it. Like, it's great. If you just it's your first one, and like, I mean, the first 100 of mine were pretty bad. But if you're just sitting watching it and you're trying to figure it out and you're trying to get comfortable, no problem. But there's a lot of the ones that pop up are like people who are clearly either putting on like a persona, or they're kind of trying to do a thing which seems a little bit disingenuous, or maybe it's just like, I didn't want to watch someone just watch a video.
What is the most disingenuous reactors have you watched? No, I was kidding.
Well, no, I legitimately, I mean, I'm in such hot water with most of them. I don't really care. I've had emails that are just out of this
From
world.
reactors?
Yeah. So I'll tell you later, but it's a whole thing.
Wave, do you have any questions you want to ask before you leave, man? I'm sorry. I meant to ask you this sooner. Do you have anything?
He just wants the world to know he's not really a serial
I'll
killer.
think of questions like in 4 hours when it's too late.
Oh, sweet.
Wait,
We'll still be here.
I'm
Rosie
sure
has a
Chase would
question.
love to come on again in the future, man.
Yeah, of course.
What's her question? You're
We
muted.
can't hear, so.
Oh, what's your favorite band?
Favorite band. I have like a favorite band at the moment I could give you, because I don't really have a favorite band. I grew up like Kiss and the Beatles were like my favorite bands, like when I was younger. Those are the two I grew up with. But like my favorite bands that consistently as a kind of teenager growing up have to be Every Time I Die and He Is Legend. I think are the two.
He Is Legend? Did you say He Is Legend?
Yeah, I saw them live. Yeah, fantastic.
Holy shit! I didn't know other
Killer.
people knew them.
The
I
killer band,
fucking
man.
love
Killer
He
band.
Is Legend.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh my god. Okay, that makes me so happy, dude.
Yeah.
I Am Hollywood is one of my favorite CDs of all time.
One of the greatest. They got a new one coming out now.
Yeah, I do feel like they had like a rough little patch after the album after He Is Legend that I didn't really love one or two of their albums that came out after that, but I did hear that they have a new one coming out.
Yeah.
I'm super amped about that one. But you know, I was telling them that I don't remember who I was talking to the other day, but I was talking about this band Envy on the Coast, how they had one album called Lucy Gray, that was absolutely awesome, and I don't really like anything else that they did. But I said that was one of the best albums I've ever heard in my life. He Is Legend's I Am Hollywood is a top 5 album I've ever listened to.
Absolutely,
in my life.
easy.
I have no clue what you're talking about.
Curious now. I've never even heard of them.
Me neither.
I don't think they're very popular. I'm
No,
like
they're not
super
massive.
shocked
They're not
that
massive,
Chase
no.
just said that. Like I thought I was the only person that I knew personally when I was listening to them that knew who they were until I was telling everybody else they had to listen to them.
They're in
So,
that like
crazy.
rock and roll, I wouldn't say core, but it's like really aggressive kind of rock and roll. But that's all like storytelling and fairy tales, and they do like a whole lot of cool stuff within it. I just love them. They're great.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I would definitely recommend to both of you guys, Wave and Alan, that like there's a couple tracks on that album that you should definitely hear. It'd be cool as hell. You'll be like, oh shit, this is something I don't listen to very much.
Very nice. Wade's writing it down.
Again, nice,
No,
excellent.
my pen doesn't work.
No, it was a nice attempt, my dude.
It was nice to
I
do.
ordered pen refills on Amazon this week. I didn't even know that was a thing.
Pen refills.
Pen
Yeah.
Pen
refills.
you really like, you can refill the ink.
I haven't bought a pen in so long.
Yeah, me neither.
I just happen to find one every time.
I don't think I've written something down in like 6 years.
I doodle. Like it is not helpful at all. I go to meetings and draw trees and shit.
Nice.
Yeah, it's not helpful.
What was the band called again?
He is Legend.
Oh, like this movie, except
Well,
from a
that's
different perspective.
What?
I guess, yeah, from the third party point of view, it is not a first party game anymore.
All right, I gotta get going, guys. But it was really nice to meet you, Chase.
All right.
nice to meet you too, man. Just
Later, bud.
keep repeating like the safe word. Just keep calm.
Yeah. Use the camera for
Definitely made
shooting.
this, more entertaining.
Rosie's in the background going, "Sun's getting real low." He's just trying to calm you.
It's just gonna take him out before he has a chance.
See you guys.
Bud. Oh, hi. Okay.
Yeah. Back to the thing you were asking me. Yeah, I think there's a lot of people that I think are like quite disingenuous. Like they'll like charge a lot for reaction videos, and then they'll just sit and look at them, and at the end go, "I liked it. Guitar was nice," and then they'll just like go, "Don't forget to like buy another one." And I find like that's not massively helpful to people. And I'm not a fan of that. But I also like don't, again, if you exclude the people who are brand new and people who are trying to get comfortable and stuff like that, like I wouldn't see a massive value in just watching someone watch a video. Doesn't make any sense to me.
Yeah, I get that too. So I don't really watch music reactions anymore. Originally it wasn't because of that. It was because of my own insecurities and me being like, oh shit, this guy's doing better than me.
Okay, cool.
And I'd be like, this is making me feel like shit. Like I fucking put, 2 hours into making this, edited video, and I was trying to, and it's good quality. And then this person put it up and it's a potato quality, and they said 4 words and they got 30,000 views and mine got 3,000 views. And it would like, oh man, why am I doing this type of thing? Eventually I got past that and I started watching stuff anyway, regardless. Cause eventually, like if you're doing YouTube for long enough, you just kind of like that stuff you realize is kind of meaningless to an extent. Like it's not meaningless to your growth as a channel, but it's meaningless to the psychology of yourself, I guess. Like you just go, okay, it doesn't really matter. It doesn't mean that they're better. It doesn't mean that I'm worse. It doesn't mean anything like that.
Yeah.
But I watch at this point when it comes down to like watching music reactions, I'll watch like Alan's reactions or yours, Chase, or Waves, because I feel like I know you guys' personalities well enough to know that you're going to actually put effort into talking about what
Yeah,
you're
yeah, yeah.
seeing.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's a little bit different. The last time I clicked on a random channel that I had never watched before was a long time ago.
That's a very good point. And that's like probably a bit of clarity I should add is that I will like, but I invest in the person. So
Yeah.
like I will watch a reaction of your guys to a band, even if I've heard the song and I didn't like it very much, or like maybe it wasn't so much for me, I'll still watch it because like I'm interested in the person. Like that's so absolutely I would do that. The only channels, excuse me, channel I would say that I watch that I don't know the people of, and I watch it very infrequently, is these two Australian guys called The Breakdown with Nathan, someone else.
The metal guys.
Yeah. I find that, and again, I watch it super infrequently. I don't know them. I've never spoken to them. They kind of just have a bit of fun with it, and they like you could see their friends, and like it kind of works, like it's their thing and whatever. And if I have heard a song and I kind of want to see, like a fellow metal fan, for example, watch a video and not like dig into the massive detail where it's like, then that's a nice one to have a look at, right? But other than that, I'll watch Julia's, I'll watch like your guys, but that's pretty much it for me in terms of music.
What about you, Alan? Do you watch a lot of reactions still?
I stopped, man. I mean, I don't watch many. I mean, the last one I've actually watched, I think, like all the way through was Chase's Nemophila and the
Dissension.
And then I haven't even watched the Unleashed video yet. Which is shocking because normally I would watch it, but I've been so caught up in my own bullshit that like I haven't been watching much YouTube actually, unless it's been like learning stuff. So I used to watch a lot of reactions, and it just got tiresome. And the main
at first it was like amazing, right? It was like I remember when I first discovered reaction videos, especially for music. I was like, there was probably like a 9-day period of time where I just for 12 hours per day was watching reaction. I didn't care who was doing it. I was just like, wow, I just want to know what everybody thinks about all this stuff. And then eventually you realize I don't care what everybody thinks.
No.
I only care what very select few people think.
There was one person like Jamal, aka Jamal, that I've talked about. Like I used to watch in the beginning because I didn't understand why people liked reaction videos, and Eric got me into it, and I watched him. But it was for like the music I used to listen to in the '90s or early 2000s, so it was exciting to watch, like relive the moment. So I got it, but it got old pretty fast.
Yeah, it does. There was these two guys. I think they're called Lost in Vegas. They're a pretty big channel. Yeah, and they have like. If you trust them, I think they're trustworthy enough people. I watch enough videos to think that you can trust them. They've pretty much gone back into the beginning of time and have gone through all the stuff from before
retro
that they were younger. Yeah, and so I watched a bunch of their videos. The first time somebody reacts to Korn, for example, is always like a fun time. Like it's fucking Korn. They're weird, Their
manager actually called me because they were looking to like, I guess they were looking to, basically there were a lot of like requests or something that they get that they maybe wouldn't look at, but they thought it'd be helpful if like they could swing people like, hey, well, I know a guy. It was actually quite a nice like thing. It wasn't at all like a trying to get necessarily. That's not at all the impression I got from it. I say manager, he's like, he kind of manages them. Yeah, I think that's what he is. And I remember I got a DM from them and then I hopped on a call. He seemed really genuine as well. So that kind of speaks to what your instinct was. But I'll watch like, like if I, like I love to see like people watching like, Chris Stapleton or something for the first time. Like I'm a Chris Stapleton fan or whatever, or hearing people like watching people listen to Teddy Swims for the first time or something like that. Just like people are like quite like big talents in other genres, or people listening to like NF for the first time. Like I like some hip hop. Like I think he's got like a lot of like really thoughtful like lyrics and stuff. And that'd be cool. But I don't actively seek it out, and I think that's the thing. Like and because of YouTube, if you don't seek it out, it doesn't come to you that often. So I'm all set with it. Like I'm a lot of people who go like, hey man, I didn't catch this video. I didn't watch this video. I go, yeah, I mean, I don't expect everyone to watch every video. They're kind of there if you need them, if you want them, if you've got some spare time. But I think you probably get people who are quite competitive with it, who kind of study other channels and look at trends and what are they doing. Like,
go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, I was just saying like what they're doing with like little technical things or what, you know, like how it's evolving so they can kind of keep up and evolve their channel. And I think that makes sense. It just isn't something I'm doing.
I'm one of those people. I don't know if you guys like. So when I was big into reactions, like, and I was watching all of them, like Chase, Tank, everybody. Like I was watching a lot. It was fun to do, but I noticed like my own content watching, it tends to reflect what I start making, and I have a lot more fun making videos like the last BAND-MAID one I did. So that's why I decided like on the business front, you know, because you have to sustain your living, right? I know you work and then do the reactions where I manage a YouTube channel, Vivid Vision. So that's part of what I do. So, but I also do my own stuff, right? So, but what I realized, like I was telling you, the reactions were getting like not as fun. So I took those out of my Patreon, and I wish I did it sooner because it's like one of those things where I do requests. Now it's just like you do requests, but it's no guarantee I'm doing it. So we changed that. Now I get what Tank was trying to tell me back then, because he told me, he's like, just watch out for that because it's gonna get stressful and tiresome, and then you're gonna feel like the obligations and the weight of the world on you.
Yeah.
And he was totally absolutely right. And I'm like, okay, fuck, I gotta stop. So and then I found it was more creative and more fulfilling to do more like, I guess, think pieces, I guess you would call them, or like, hey, this is my initial thoughts of it. It's probably completely fucking wrong, but let me try to convince you why this could be right. You know?
Yeah.
And that was more fun for me to do. So that's why I'm going in the direction of like what I did with the BAND-MAID video, where we're still going to do reactions, but it's purely going to be like we're going live and doing them, and it's just going to be a fun thing to do with the community to check out new music. But there's not going to be any freaking pay thing or paywall to it anymore. It's just going to be, we're just going to react to stuff. If you guys want to support us, go for it. If not, totally cool. We're still going to work on music videos and making like interesting content or like thought-provoking questions that are fun for us to explore. And that's the kind of videos I kind of watch already. So it's like, why am I not making videos like that? Because I might as well make the videos I enjoy watching, you know? So
I have it easy. I have it very, very easy. Like the thing about my reaction videos is listening to the song, talking about the song. Like, so I don't write the song. There is no shortage of people making music. It's pretty easy. Like, I'm not talking about lyrics or gear or something like that, where that, you know, especially with the gear, I know long time ago, Tank was mentioned, like, it's just like, you can only talk about the same guitar so many times before you have to like, go, you know, move on to a band or whatever. So I get it. Like, I would consider that I get it quite easy, but I think, you're definitely right with like, okay, the evolution of it. So you're starting to do things that fits into more of like I don't say journalistic, editorial piece of content where you're having like bigger thoughts around it versus an instant thought, and you're having probably a much more beneficial or valuable thought because you've like given it time and you've put it together, you pieced it together. I've always wanted to do stuff like that, but I want to do it like around like why songs are a traditional length or why they're structured a certain way and the history of that and why it sits well and that kind of stuff. So like,
to me, that's
I think there is more to it. I just need, you know, it's just a time thing. I think when I'm able to one day earn an income from it, all of this stuff, I will be able to dedicate more time, and that's probably when that stuff will kick in. But Wave's video he did on the on Unleash, it was Unleash, right? They did, yeah. It was fantastic, man. I was like, wow, man, that's Christ. Like, he's not only just he put so much effort into it. I was like, it was done really well. And I was like, okay, I could watch this kind of stuff. Like, this is, and that falls out of the reaction thing for me. I mean, it falls into like a category of people with a particular background and experience giving me like an editorial piece of content, which is awesome.
Tina from the chat brought up a really good point. And this is how I feel right now, actually, literally. I feel overwhelmed with the amount of bands that I've been listening to. She said, I watch reaction videos to get introduced to new music, but now I have so many bands already to keep up with. Man,
hey, that's
do
Tina,
I
my
feel
mod,
that.
right there.
I feel that 100%. Like, it's so overwhelming to keep up with everything, you know, like, and getting hit up from all directions. It's not that we don't want to check them out, but it's a lot.
Yeah, I feel like, so speaking of Tina, she actually told me at some point, probably like after the first year of me doing reaction videos, where she was like, you know, I started to notice that some things were doing better than other things. We're discussing it, and she was like, I think did too much stuff at the beginning. Like, it might have worked out better for you if you went through like a discography of like one group and then maybe moved on to the next group. And I thought about that ever since she said that to me, and I was like, there are so many different paths that you could take as a YouTuber, right? Like, and you have to make decisions every once in a while, and that decision is going to completely change the trajectory of what your channel is going to be doing at that moment, right? And I feel like I played it safe most of the time. I was like, I'm just going to do these reaction videos and like really not rock the boat very much, But once I started to branch out a little bit, do some stuff on TV and stuff like that, I immediately noticed the hit from the algorithm just like crushing my channel down, right? So it was like, you have to make this decision to be a little bit more unique or a little bit more eclectic, with the knowledge that it may also hurt your channel's growth and impact on YouTube in general. So it's like, these are things that you have to like back and forth on in your head. Like, what, if nobody's going to watch it, is there a purpose for me making it? But this is what I want to make, rather than just doing the norm, so
you have to change it up every 2 years. I say like, there has to be some significant change or something. Like, so for us, it was making music videos to the songs we reacted to, was the first thing. And then we realized, oh shit, like we don't have the budget to do these high end music videos that we're doing. And like, cause all that stuff came out of pocket, right? Like none of that. And it's like, God damn. So what do you do next? Like that's in budget to like get it through,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Your comments there about like making certain creative decisions that could stunt the growth but also be long-term beneficial. It's that instant versus delayed gratification thing, and it's incredible. You see a lot of channels that start up quite quick and then they just like rattle off the top 10 most reacted like videos like straight away, right? And they see like a bump in growth for their channel, but what it does is they haven't created a backlog of content that is maybe monetizable. They haven't maybe even been in the partnership program, so they kind of get all that attention and then they go, oh, I've run out of like, I guess, I don't know, the hits or whatever the reaction hits are nowadays.
Yeah.
But it can really hurt them. But I mean, I was thinking, and this is something I thought about the other day, and I don't know how smart it is, how stupid it is, but I get like comments all the time like, hey man, what can we do to support? I'm like, well, just keep watching the videos. Like, if there comes a time where I can monetize, like, hang around, like make sure you watch the videos if you can and do things. But I thought about something quite smart, because I think it's smart. You get videos that just somehow escape the copyright claim stuff, right? Or you have a negotiation, or you have someone in a label you speak to and you go, hey, can you clear it? And I was like, it'd be really smart, like putting together a playlist on your channel of all of the videos you've done that have no copyright claims on, and say to people like, if you want to support, just play the list, hit the playlist and let it run. Go shower, go do what you want.
Yeah. Like
you've seen this already, but if they just had a playlist they could rattle through of stuff that's just like not copyrighted and they don't have to go search for it.
I did that with our music videos. So we released an EP saying Dakota covers Japan. So we released an EP and we're like, this is the way you guys can support. Yeah, it shares revenue, but I got the license to release the covers we did for the Japanese songs. So that was like our way, I guess, around it, and we're just like, hey, let's make an EP of us just doing covers, because we did a lot of them, so that's a really good point, to make a playlist of those things. And that definitely will, if you pitch it, that can definitely support any channel, not just through YouTube, but Spotify and all that stuff. If you're doing the music route. Yeah.
It is crazy. I never even thought about that. That is a way for people to monetarily support people that they appreciate and watch without actually having to give any of their own money away.
Exactly.
That is it's a great idea. I will start a playlist with my one video that did not get copyright claims.
Yeah, you should.
I'm thinking this is why you're not in the AdSense thing anymore, champ.
I see someone saying like YouTube's answer that you get pop-ups to ask if you want to continue watching. Yeah, there's points at which like YouTube's going to kick you out to make sure that you're there and you're opting into the things. But I guess like if you are around and it's background noise and you can click it or whatever, any little bit of help on that stuff like really does help. So it's not like a foolproof thing. But I do think like there are people loads of people, I'd say the majority of people, who don't have extra budget lying around to maybe subscribe to a thing or do a thing, and that's just like another way.
My thing was that baffled me. Luckily, most of the musicians do covers and stuff like that, like Wave and Ryan. Some of the people that like claim that they're still doing music, which I found fascinating, they never covered any of the songs that they said that they loved. So that was the whole like motivation for us to do the reaction. Like, dude, the bands that we fall in love with, we got to cover the songs, and and that's what we did. So I always wondered about that, like the ones that say that, you know, like Wave done many covers of all the bands he likes, and like those are reaction channels I really like, the ones that actually do that, you know.
I feel like you're calling me out right now, my man.
No, I said still doing music though, like you kind of doing it and stop, and you have a new cover coming out, so what are you talking about?
This is true. This is true, but it took 3 years for me to get to that point where I wanted to even pick up a guitar.
But hey,
Like-
in 3 years it still worked, right? So I mean, if it gets people back into playing again, that's fucking amazing in itself, you know.
True, that's true.
But I don't know. That's just my thoughts on it, because I understand there's some people that did music, but they just don't want to play anymore. They just want to talk about the music. So I get that perspective. Like Chase is a really good example of that. Your reactions have always been, I know you don't think so, but very educational in the sense of pointing out stuff that probably would not catch whatsoever. You know,
I'm kind of stuck in this weird world with it, that like the people who are musicians like will watch what my videos and go, yeah, of course, dude. Yeah, of course. But then, but that's
so true,
that's kind of like, but that's like kind of for me the point, right? So, the majority of people on the internet, and I would probably say the majority of people in the chats or any group of people you find, don't play an instrument, or if they have had limited experience with an instrument. Of the people who have played, I can guarantee a very, very small minority have spent any time in studio or given any thought to like the creative process beyond maybe learning a cover song like that. So like the group gets smaller and smaller. So what you're left with is this like huge population of people who love music, but don't actually understand why. And then you get guys like one of my favorites, like that, it's Michael Palmisano, right? So he's like a great guitarist.
Yeah.
So but he speaks at such a high level, it goes over everybody's head. It goes over a lot of musicians' heads. So it's like, when I say a high level, he's anyone who doesn't know how to read music, let's just say hypothetically, or understand like certain chord structure. So what you have is this like massive group of people who are desperately looking for a deeper listening experience, but they don't want to have to take a course to like understand the language. So like that for me was like, that's where I think I can add the most value, is I can explain something as simple as reverb and how it can create space.
Exactly. I think that's something we both do. Like, because I'm beyond, I'm not the greatest like I'm not that good. Like when it comes to music theory. So like, luckily, me not knowing as much makes me immediately dumb it down. Anyways, like I know how to show it. I can show, oh, this is what it is. Like, but how is it that? I don't know. I'm still learning. You know, still learning. You know, It's
crazy. Like a lot of people go like, because I practice active listening all the time, and I won't shut up about it. Like I'm like a geek. It's like the biggest geekiest thing that I do. That and horror films is pretty much it. But I'm obsessed with it. But like everyone will go like, oh, your ears are great. Your ears are great. My hearing actually is very bad. That's not just something I'm telling you. My hearing is actually really bad. I didn't wear in-ears. I played in a band. I played in a lot of shitty gigs and pubs and places, and I just had like real damage to my ears done. If I was going to be like a self like critique, like the biggest strength I have is not my ears. It's one, my experience that I've had. So I have a lot of information in my head, but my biggest, like, I think strength is that I'm able to communicate quite clearly in the moment what I'm thinking.
Yes.
It's just speaking. And I've gotten that from being on live TV. I've gotten that from being in a band. I've gotten that from pitching at very high levels to very important people, where you have a short amount of time to communicate something very important. That's the skill I have. The rest of it all just kind of helps.
I agree with that. You are very well spoken on the videos. That's definitely what it is. 100%.
I agree. I think that helps a lot. I think it depends on the person that's watching also. It's like, you know, I've been told before, for example, you know, people will be like, dude, I didn't understand why I liked this song, and you helped explain it to me. And from my point of view, it's like, I did not study music theory. You know, I picked up a guitar one day and was like, I need to get these chicks to like me. And I just like, you know, started looking up tabs, and I didn't take lessons, and I just taught myself how to play because I was trying to get babes. And, you know, so I only got so good, and my understanding was only so high. But there's a certain segment of the audience that watches me that I think almost appreciates in a way that I'm able to convey what I'm listening to and hearing, but in like a much more, in a very casual sort of like, uneducated way, in that like I'm not explaining anything like in super deep or anything like that. It's literally just the sounds and how I think the song is structured and why I think that they did the things that they did, just based on my own experience of putting music together also. But like, you know, I'm never going to be like, yeah, so like, you know, Alan and Wave and Ryan will be like, yeah, so yeah, he was in G major and then, you know, he switched over to like, you know, fucking E flat or whatever. And I'm like, I don't even fucking know what that means, but I know that there was a change in the sound, and I'm going to tell you why I like how that change, like why that change was good for me, and
I'm
why
definitely
I thought it sounded good.
I'm in the middle of that, champ. Like, I don't know as well as Wave and Ryan. They can call out notes exactly. For me, it's literally I just go, hold on. oh, okay. Yeah, it's this. Like, that's how I am. Like, I suck. I don't even understand how people can do that. It's so amazing when people pull that off, when they could just, like, call it out. I've practiced it, too. Like, well, I haven't this past year, but I remember when I started learning vocals, I was like, all right, I need to actually take this seriously and try to recognize notes. So for me, it's just like I do what you just said, champ. Like, oh, I know that sound. That sound is this sound here. Fuck, what letter is that? I don't
know what fucking letter it is.
But that's exactly like the point. Is it all becomes like we all end up gamifying it in a good way for ourselves to get what we want out of it or to express what we want out of it. So like, you know, if you hit a certain chord, there's a number of like ways to go from that chord to another chord, and there's reasons for doing that. And the easiest example for people is like the major minor thing, like the happy sad thing, right? So there's different ways, there's different pathways you can have. They are limited because there's only so much you can do, but there's a number of them. And if you've listened to enough music, you've started to see patterns emerge. So you start to hear something and you go, I wonder if it's going there, right? Yeah. And that's like exciting because you're like, I'm pretty sure it's going there because he did this before. And I know from previous experience, that's quite a common, that's all I do with songs. I go, well, it's been 2 minutes. We haven't had a bridge. And my brain goes and tries to put a puzzle together and go, I wonder if this is going to happen. And then sometimes it does and sometimes it doesn't. But that's like the thing I used to beat myself up about. I used to try and make predictions. I used to try and listen to every single thing.
Yeah.
It's still the goal, but I don't have the pressure of it. Like there would be like, I don't know, a song where maybe there's 10 things in the song that like are not very easy to hear. And I'll pick up, let's say 6. And people go, I can't believe you didn't hear X. And I go, you've heard the song 100 times. Like, I'm actually pretty proud of what I did over there. Like, that was, but then I realized that's bullshit because that's going to get me into a place where I'm fixated on, am I missing something? And while I'm thinking about missing something, I'm missing something. So I just started going like, it's crazy, right? So I was like, I'm just going to listen. And if I hear something I like and I want to go back or I want to stop or I want to go, I'm not sure, talk about it at the end and have it like a think about it, like a vocal think about it. There's no pressure anymore. Like, people all the time, like I heard a guy go like, hey man, you're getting sloppy. And I was like, okay, no, I'm just having more fun with it. I'm not putting as much pressure on myself with it.
We forget that most people, like, when you listen to a song, and I used to only be able to do this when I'm drunk, which is sad to say. Like, I have to drink in order to enjoy music. And what I mean by that is because it puts me into a singular focus on the song. Because when I was I'm sober now, I don't drink anymore. I won't touch a drink ever. But when I listen to a song, it's really hard for me. And probably why I go to podcasts when I'm working out is because when I'm listening to a song, I immediately focus on a singular instrument, which really sucks. Because then you listen to it again and you focus on another one. But before, when I was younger, you just hear the whole song as a whole, like the whole thing. So that's why I got into mixing, because I wanted to bring it back. I wanted to be like, okay, how do I get back to enjoying the song as a whole again? So that's why I started mixing. So because I knew it forced me to focus on the glued together product rather than just focusing on only guitars. Because when I was learning guitar, that's all I did. I didn't hear anything else but guitars.
You're like my nemesis, dude. Like, you're my absolute nemesis, because like the thing I'm trying to do, because to mix and master a song is to make it be seamless, to make everything have a moment, to make sure that all the frequencies sit in a way that they're adding value and they're not canceling out. And you know this.
Yeah.
What I'm trying to do is listen through those little gaps. Where they are gaps, I'm trying to find them and listen a little bit through it. So find a thing they don't necessarily want me to hear as the primary sound, right? So I can go, hey, try and hear that. Try and listen to that. Makes you realize there's more to it.
Oh, I could show you a mix right now and be like, show you one of our songs and be like, oh yeah, I hear this. I'll be like, oh, did you know there's an acoustic guitar in here? Let me show you.
Exactly that, right? Now, if you took the acoustic guitar away, even if you can't hear it, if you took it away, you're going to know it's gone. Right?
Notice.
So that's the point of one song. So my thing is like, if people start to go, all I can hear is cymbals or kick, you go, yeah, that's fine. But just like anything, like if you're sitting there now and I'm like, okay, think about yourself right now breathing. You weren't thinking about breathing, you were just doing it, right?
Why'd you do that to me, man?
I know.
Now I'm just gonna be thinking about that for the next fucking hour. Like, can everybody hear me fucking breathing?
I'm like, I literally just thought about them, like, just start focusing on the air coming out of my nose. Like, fucking Chase, like, god damn it.
Yeah, why don't we talk about blink? Chase, think about how much you blink, bro.
But this is it. Oh, don't do. I got way too much OCD for that shit. No, but just seriously, like, so the minute I said that, you guys are like, fuck. Now you're consciously thinking about your breathing. You're thinking about, am I breathing too loud? Am I breathing too much? Am I breathing too fast? And because you're doing that, you're not thinking about the chat, right? The chat's just going because now you're busy in that moment thinking about your breathing. It's the same thing with music. If all you're hearing is the kick, you're thinking about just the kick, right? You're thinking, Jesus, that kicks. But if you just get comfortable with it and allow it to become your breathing, you're going to find so much more stuff in the background.
Exactly. Well, you just gave me a brilliant idea, Chase. I now figured out a way I can react to all the songs, all the reaction hits again. And now I'm going to be like, first time reacting to the kick drum. First time reacting to the lead guitar. First time reacting to the vocals.
Then start adding stuff that's not there. First time reacting to the xylophone. It was like, there's a fucking xylophone?
I'm determined. I got to put that up as a joke. I'm going to find just a song and be like, come up with something absurd. Like, first time reacting to the hi-hat of Maximum Hormone Alien.
Yeah, dude, it's
and only focus on the hi-hat.
Oh my god. No, sorry, I didn't mean to miss everyone. But that's like, I had that conversation with someone recently with the breathing thing. And I said, if I give you something to focus on, it's all you do in that moment. You miss everything else. It's the same principle with music. It's the same principle with anything.
Yeah.
It's the same reason that some people, when you talk to them, they aren't listening. They're thinking about what they're going to say.
Yeah.
Like
exactly.
we know these people, right? It's the same thing. This thing is just anywhere in life. You can replicate this anywhere. And that's why actually what spurred the thought is you say podcasts. I listen to a lot of podcasts. Some of them are like quite educational. A lot of them are just like comedic takes on news and stuff. Like, there's a lot of that out there. And I found certain personalities that I'm like, oh, these guys are quite funny, but they also like have enough of like a legitimate conversation that adds value. That kind of information that you think about, like, it does translate into anything you do. Like all the shit I'm doing that isn't music related helps with the music stuff.
Yeah. Oh, man, you just inspired me right now. I have so many fucking ideas. We had put up a video like how to do a reaction. It was like when we first started off, and it was like just absurd. I got to show it to you because I know it won't get demonetized. One thing I can show that won't get demonetized.
Amazing. Can I quickly run to the bathroom real quick?
Yeah, go for it.
And I'll be back in.
But yeah, go for it.
Cool.
Alan, can we actually do like a 1 minute we'll be back screen or something? Because I got to do the same thing.
Okay, I'll keep talking to everyone. I'll answer some questions. Everyone left, guys. Party time. I don't know what happened. How long have we been streaming for? This is always fun conversations with Chase. I hope you guys are enjoying it. And luckily everything else is going smooth. Sorry about all the switch outs and everything, and thank you for sticking out with us. Don't forget to like the video. Go ahead and hit that like button. 2 hours, already been 2 hours. Wow. So the video I'm going to show them, we actually did in the beginning. I almost thought about re-releasing it because we did this like in the first year as how to do a reaction video, and then I thought it was pretty funny. But hold on, let me see if I can find it. So it was this video. I don't know. Did any of you guys see this? It was one that Eric and I did right in the beginning. So it was like pretty much just a parody of reactions. It's pretty hilarious. El Paso, a react to silence. There we go. I just turned in recap. We've been just talking about like the state of reactions and what we think are like why we like reactions or why we don't watch them as much and stuff like that. And so, yeah, so remind me of this video. Okay. But this video came out a year ago, actually. it feels like I've done reactions for like 5 years. That's how much music I think is in my brain now. Like, it feels like I've been reacting for 5 years straight, but it's only been 2 years. It's like, which is kind of wild. So this is the video that I'm gonna show you. I think you might find it funny. We did this like we were 6 months into doing this, and we're like, we want to make a parody video, and it was like how to do
parody.
a reaction.
Sure, got it.
So yeah, so it was like how to do reaction and 10 tips. The 2020. So this is 2 years ago. This is when we first were starting the channel, and I guess we'll wait for. I don't know if is Champ coming back. I think he's coming back. We'll wait for Champ. But this is some good points, man. I don't know. Like I said, like I finally got cleaned up. I stopped drinking because drinking was getting really bad, right? So
okay.
And that was one of the issues. Is like fuck. Like even at concerts, it was pretty bad for me because I'd just be standing there. I used to tell people I hate going to concerts. I used to hate going to because all I could think about was how I wanted to be on stage. You know?
Yeah.
And it really sucks because there's a lot of bands that I loved that I did not go to the concerts for. Now I will. Because now I feel like there's a sense of community when I go to these concerts. So I'm very excited to go to BAND-MAID because I get to watch it with other people that have also, discovered them in the past few years. And it's going to be really exciting to like be with other people to talk about it. But before, when I would go to concerts, it would just be me going there, standing there, watching a band play. And I'm like, I would rather just listen to the CD, which is really stupid because there were bands that I would watch that were fucking amazing live, and I would have never listened to them if I didn't watch them live. So there's always that conflicting back and forth. But
yeah,
I don't know.
I think I'm lucky that I don't. I kind of, as much as I enjoyed playing on stage, and it's not something I would ever turn down in the future. But I'm kind of like in a phase where I'm happy to just be kind of one of the people in the crowd. I had a weird experience when I went to go watch the Nightwish one. There were people, I didn't expect that many people to kind of come say hi and stuff. I thought that was outlandish. I was like, this is crazy. But I think there was like this one guy was like filming me as they started, and I just thought it was really weird. I was like, is he expecting me to like do the reaction thing like at a concert? And I'm like holding like 2 beers. I got my brother's beer, I got mine, he's going to the bathroom. I'm just there to enjoy his show. And I had a bit of, not for the same reason, but I stopped going to concerts and shows. I kind of was like a little bit over it, if you will, and I missed out on a number of them. So like now I try and go to all of them. I know the Electric Callboy one that's they're playing up the road got kind of moved, so I'm gonna try and get tickets for that. But concerts are great, man. You can't like replicate that live experience.
Yeah, I'm good with it now, but that was like always my sentiment back then because I really loved playing a lot. Like I remember I did a show where I played in all 4 bands, and it was like the greatest thing ever. I just love playing on stage.
Jesus,
it was great. Yeah, did like drums for the middle band, bass for the first, and guitar for the last 2, and I was like, this is the greatest.
That's a lot of stage time. Dude.
I was in 5 bands at the time. It was pretty nuts. I don't even know how I did it because I was running like 11 restaurants also, but I was still doing like all the bands, and it fucking killed me. But here's this video. Let's see what you guys think. So this is pretty old, so it might be a little cringe maybe, but I don't know how many people remember this. Was how to do reaction video 2020. We need to do an updated one. We are not coding. My name is Alan.
My name is Eric. We're back again with another arcade video.
What the hell? Anyways, today's video we're gonna show you how to react. Because I know you guys have all been wondering how we do these reaction videos.
You guys have no idea what goes on behind the scenes, so we're gonna go ahead and take it piece by piece and show you guys how to do a proper reaction
We got
video.
a nice top 10 for y'all. So we're gonna start with step 10. We'll go backwards, yeah.
You put up a 1 though.
I prefer
I know.
one.
That's so funny.
God damn, you're gonna really argue on the...
You want to get a good reaction, buddy. Don't work with your friends. You definitely don't want some idiot.
Let's get the next one in here. Let's get this over with. You look really familiar. Nah, man, I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know, like... I mean, why do you think you should be doing reacting? What makes you want to do this?
Look at this face. This is a face of awesomeness.
Hey, get out. Just get out. No.
What the
no, you know, just, no.
What? I'm perfect!
Next one in here. Come on, man. Hurry up. All right. So, do you like music?
I guess I like music. Try out different people. Don't work with your friends.
Yeah. Don't settle. Don't settle.
Next step is you want a good intro.
Back in again with another reaction video.
12 seconds later.
Don't do that. And we're back in again with another reaction video.
This is the one. This is the one.
Why didn't you keep using this intro?
This is the fucking one, man.
That was a spectacular intro.
All right, what are we reacting to today?
I don't know.
That's my thing.
Make sure you have good sound. You want to have great quality sound for your video. You don't want to sound like you're in a cave or something, you know? That'd be very annoying. Imagine that.
Oh my god.
It's ready. Here, like. Did you hear anything yet?
Oh, Digicore, nice.
Damn it! No, I won't go in! What is going on?
It sounds like Horse the Band, legitimately.
Alright, how about now?
Yeah.
This is so important. It's kind of like real estate. Location, location, location. You need lighting, 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 lighting. You need perfect lighting. Lighting. That sounded weird. That sounded like something like...
You definitely don't want to use the fridge light. I don't know why you would use that. And
What do you mean? That's how I did all my first videos. They were pretty good.
Hey, we are decoding. My name is Alan!
At least you didn't do yours outside with a bunch of fucking
Candles.
birds.
Man, I think this lighting is working. What do you think?
I think we need more candles.
Oh, okay.
Your cell phone light. Do you think this looks good, dude?
Dude, I think this will work. We got it. It looks good. Look at that.
Too dark.
Too dark. You want energy! You want to have lots of energy! It's gotta be crazy! It's gotta be good! You gotta do it! You gotta get it after it!
Oh god.
Have a good thumbnail! You want to make sure you have a good thumbnail because it's got to be eye-catching. It's got to bring your viewers in to watch you react.
You want to get them to click on your video no matter what.
How did that fit in his mouth?
No matter what.
No matter what.
Do anything.
Big pimping.
Cleavage, everything. Don't get too revealing because YouTube will block you.
Oh, yeah.
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 That's the thing.
Yeah, don't get flagged.
Yeah, don't get flagged. Not fun. Also, make sure you're eating right, alright? You don't want to be eating like before doing these reactions. Oh god. What is next?
Do another maximum hormone video.
I love maximum hormone. Yeah.
Me too.
So cringe. Cheddar flavor.
Oh, the cleanup on this.
Diconic, and we're back at it again with that video.
Is Eric and you're about to...
Make sure you have that opportune set to record at to have that phenomenal, beautiful recording. Hey, we're on Diconic. My name is Alan.
I would fucking watch a reaction channel on the side of a highway.
Hey, we are Diconic. My name is Alan. My name is Eric. We're back at another reaction video. And today we're reacting to...
It could be anywhere.
For this tip, we are going to research and prepare.
So you want to go ahead and do as much research as you can on the topic. You don't want to look like a complete dumbass.
Hey, we are Diconic. My name is Alan.
And as Eric, we're back again with another reaction video. Today we're reacting to pig squealing fantasies.
What the f***?
Let's get to this.
All right.
You did! This is awesome!
Awesome!
I do not like this!
Oh my god!
This is amazing!
Damn, dude, that was a freaking awesome video.
Yeah, did you know that James Hetfield was the lead singer of the band Dragon Force and he died in 1872 after the wildfire crash of 1912?
What are you talking about? Where the f*** you get those facts?
RedTube.
Wikipedia.
RedTube.
10 out of 10.
Make sure you have good video production and quality.
You guys have no idea how important this is. Get a friend, go over proper angles and stuff.
Dude, the look on your face says it all. Damn, dude, this sticker's badass. You see all the detail right there?
Whoa, that's freaking awesome!
Yeah, people want us to know what's under your hat. Just show us what's under there.
So you want to know what's under the hat?
Dude.
I'm going to show you right now.
Or if you have your friend doing it, make sure they know what the hell they're doing.
You definitely don't want a blurry video.
Oh god, I've had a few of those.
Hell, I hope those 10 tips
Yeah, but
helped
anyways,
you understand
that was a
how
while
to do
ago.
a reaction video. Do you think they did, Eric?
So, do you know any videos that were similar to those?
Dude, the blur. I had one video. I had like a baby metal video that, or I don't know what it was, but it just went out of focus, and that was it, man. I didn't realize, and I was doing my thing, and the edit was great.
Oh man,
I thought that was pretty funny, man. you guys did a pretty good job on that one.
It wasn't as cringe as I thought it'd be. Yeah, it was pretty fucking good.
No, it was super cringe, but like at the same time, it was also pretty smart and funny. So like, I'm down with combining those three elements into something as an enjoyable experience as it is anyway. And honestly, I only think it was cringe for me because I talk to Alan every week, and it's like, so he's in a different, like, you're seeing him act basically in that situation. I feel like if I ever saw any of my buddies act, I would immediately cringe just because they're acting. You know what I mean?
I couldn't.
Different.
If a friend of mine did like stand up or something, I couldn't go.
I wouldn't be able to either.
I'd
be like, oh my god, please no, I can't. I don't. I'd be like pulling for them so hard, like, please laugh at his joke. Please.
Well, that was like the inside joke of the whole entire video, was to pretend like we were acting, which I mean we were intentionally, right? So we're like, that's what was funny to me. It was like the irony of it, like. Let's act out how to do these reaction videos.
There was a guy who did like the worst. He didn't call it that. He just did like a reaction video. He didn't like phrase it as like the worst thing, but he basically made the worst one ever as like a troll. So it's him in the actual video. I think it's Ghost. Oh, he said how to like, it was a Ghost Lab score thing. The video is like that big in the corner. There's a fan on. He's on his phone. He's like not listening at all. Like he gets up and leaves at one point at like the point that you're supposed to watch it. He comes back and he's like, anyway, hop on my Patreon. Like he just did like all of it. It's fucking great, man.
Scott Miller, you're acting. No, we're saying that was the joke behind it, because there's people that actually react and they act it out. You can tell who's doing that, or they don't even act it out. Some people they'll just go and just stare at the camera and have the song play. Then
I'd rather that, honestly. If I had to choose between somebody just staring at a camera or somebody blatantly bullshitting me, I choose the ignorance over the intentional lack of genuinosity. What's the word?
Genuinosity sounds good. I
like it. Let's stick with that.
Well, I get asked all the time. Like people go, because I've been quite vocal about the fact that people bullshit and they watch videos and then they pretend they haven't seen them and then they film stuff. And I'm like, and I know because they fucking told me they have. The people that told me I would blow your socks off is insane. And it's like, I'd mentioned, like, I go, well, if I've heard a song, I'll let you know. And if I think twice I've had a technical difficulty, I go, hey, I'm listening to this again because my recording editing messed up. But people go, well, is that such a bad thing? Is that like a big problem? Is that a big problem then? If they are acting, as long as the viewer's having a good time, I think it is a problem, because effectively, if you are not being honest and genuine, I don't want to fucking deal with it.
Yeah,
that goes for life in general, right?
Yeah, correct.
Just like everything in life. Yeah, if somebody's bullshitting, if you feel like they're putting like some sort of facade over them, it's the last person you want to be around, because not only can you not trust them in the moment, but also in the long run, you have no idea if they're going to stab you in the back also. So it's like, these are the type of things, you can apply just life to reaction videos right there.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, that was like, when we were first starting out, like those are the kind of videos I miss doing, like that we want to get back to doing, like those are fun. We've done other ones with like kind of just making fun of the whole getting merch thing too, like Maximum Hormone. We did a Maximum Hormone video unboxing, but it was like a ridiculous unboxing video, and we just like made it really stupid. That's what we were doing back then, and then we just got caught up. And my whole point of that was then we just got caught up into like, doing like really focusing on only reactions only, and I was like, oh no, we like to have fun too, So.
I think I did one of the things I did was like I did like a reaction to one of my first reactions. Just basically ripped myself off for like 15 minutes, just like tore into myself about how like shitty I was about it, and that was kind of fun because that felt like it was a little bit different, and I got to like say all the shit that I knew was bad about it, and people were like, they have their digs as well, so like you get to have fun with a bit of that stuff, but it's definitely a lot more. I think that the whole scene, if you will, is evolving to a place that's becoming a lot more value add.
Yeah.
And
you have to now. You have to add
that.
some value, and it can't be cheaply done either, right? And Miller is saying right here, I tune out immediately if I think the person's acting. And the problem with that is some people will, like, for instance, I put up very unfavorable reactions a lot and gotten a lot of shit for it. Most people will change their tune and all of a sudden like it, They'll become unauthentic because of the comment section. So it's like a double-edged sword, I feel like sometimes, you have
to like I genuinely get excited about music. I love it. I love the idea of listening to a brand new song, getting excited about, even if I don't really like it. So an example is I'm not a Sabaton fan. I just don't like the music.
You're not a what fan?
Sabaton.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm
like I just don't like the music. I find it cheesy. I don't care about the history side of that kind of stuff. Like it's just not for me. I'm not saying it's not good. That's just my opinion. It isn't for me. Like I don't like it. Do I get jacked when I'm watching them play like an awesome live show? Fuck yes, it's fucking great, man. Like I'm sitting there reacting to song, and I've been open and said like this isn't for me, but I can still enjoy the idea of live music and how happy it makes other people and stuff like that. That's fine. But if you aren't going to be honest and you're going to be like, well, every single song I listen to is my new favorite band, that's bullshit. Because then either you're picking and choosing or you're lying.
Yeah. And what I was gonna say, it's funny you said about Sabaton. I felt the same way. I didn't like the music videos as much, but I'm the opposite. I love the history channel that they have because I love history and documentaries and stuff like that. And their live stuff is amazing. I really like their live stuff. Awesome. Something about the energy. You just feel their energy. I feel like the energy is sucked out of their recordings for some reason. I don't know. That's just me. I agree with you, Chase. I feel the same about that.
I got the biggest shit for like one of their live videos because I was watching it and like they shot out like I thought it was the lighting from the stage hitting the crowd because they shot out like a sheet over the crowd, and I was like, and I didn't realize it was a fucking flag because I thought it was just where the lighting was ending. So I was like, oh man, sweet, they're covering all their fans in this cool blanket like as a joke. Everyone's like, the Polish fucking flag is not a blanket. And I was like, Jesus Christ, calm down. I don't fucking know it was a flag. I thought it was the lighting. But the lighting ended and people were just getting jacked because there's like a cool sheet going over them. It's like, oh man, I still get stuff today. Like, what an insult. What an insult. I was like, okay. Calm down.
Scott Miller, I was pissed with one of Alan's reactions, but I tune in because he's honest. Yeah. So, I mean, that's cool that you still tune in. Some people won't, though. Some people do want their biases confirmed 100%.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, most people. That's like the purpose of watching a reaction video most of the time, right? You're trying to get validation for, or you want like, whatever I loved about this, I want to see if somebody else is going to love that also. And if you love something and then somebody else hates it, there's that immediate, like, even if you're without thinking, it's just it's instant, like, oh, fuck that guy type of attitude, right? But like, you have to kind of like, even as a viewer, you kind of have to get over that and move past it because there's been a million, like movie reaction channels or TV reaction channels, which I find it much easier to watch those nowadays because I don't make those, you know what I mean? So it's easier for me to watch that shit. But like, somebody will watch an episode of something that I absolutely love and they'll be like, it kind of sucked, I didn't like it. And my first thought is like, I'm going to punch you in the nuts. But then my next thought is, oh, but you know what? I've enjoyed every other reaction up to this point. There's no reason for just because I like something that they didn't like for me to be like angry about it. And I almost have to like convince myself, oh, don't worry about it. Like it's fine. Like I don't need validation in this area. It's okay for somebody else to like something different than me. You know,
but that's like a maturity thing. But it also comes down to the phrasing. Like somebody will go, "This is the best guitarist in the world," or no, let's just say band. This is the best band in the world. And then so when a reactor somebody goes, says they're not the best band in the world. Excuse me, you're like fucking wrong, they are. But you're not actually saying they're the best band. You're saying I think they're the best band in the world. Someone else says I don't think they are. All it is a difference of opinion, not a difference of fact. If you're framing it as a fact, like in your own mind, and then someone disagrees with you, now you have to say they're wrong. You can't just say it's a different thought.
Oh my god, Mikoto just gave me the greatest idea. Sorry, see, this is ADD coming in. Also do a video. You should do a video of fans you'll find in the comments section. Oh my god, that would be fucking great to do. Have all of you act as a fan in the comment section.
Oh, okay, I'm in. Yeah,
that'd be funny. Yeah. Get a bunch of reactors on board. Act as the think of a comment you got that pissed you off or something, or a fan like going off.
Dude, there's too many accounts. I mean,
sorry. Back to what you were saying. I got distracted. See, this is why I don't read the comments while talking.
Disaster.
I read one comment. Can we boot Allergic from our stream, please? I'm just kidding. Don't do that.
But what I was gonna say was, I think it's fun, like when you're having the conversation like this, like going back and forth. I know Champ and I have had some things where we're like, this is what I feel, and then I disagree, and then it's always fun. I don't know if this is maybe what some people try to do in the comments and it gets mistranslated. Sometimes it's fun to be like, you're fucking stupid for liking that band, you know? If you're like hanging out, like giving each other shit. I wonder how many comments are just giving each other shit and you don't realize it because it's only text. You know,
it is interesting to think about that. I often wonder, like, if some of the comments I get are sarcastic, you know, but I can't tell. Like, it'll be like somebody that's acting like they're angry with like like something that I said or something that I did, but in reality, I think that they're just being cool. Did I just turn into a carrot?
You just turned into a carrot.
I don't know what's going on over there. All right, but yeah, like sometimes I'll be like reading it and I'm like, oh man, I wish I could tell. Like I need that r/sarcasm thing there, because sometimes I get like, what? Why would they have just said that? You know, I've seen them comment before. They seem like cool people, and then you're like, oh wait, they're probably being ironic right now.
I just fucked up with Miller's comment. I thought he was being. I didn't realize he was being sarcastic, and he said, "Oh no, I was just being sarcastic" when I answered him. Right,
dude,
right now, literally in the chat that just happened.
Yeah, there's a very big difference between. Surely you don't think they're the worst band, and surely you don't think they're the worst band. Like there's no tone in it, just like you said. So it's like, but the other thing that gets me is the language barrier. There's fans from all over the world, and sometimes English isn't the first language, and that's another thing that can play into that, which is like they're saying, I don't necessarily agree with you, but they're doing it in a way that might seem a bit harsh, might seem a bit intense, and it's just because that's like a second language to them, that they're speaking with the rules of theirs.
Yes. That's a really good point, because there's those moments where I've laughed and people confuse that with an insult. But sometimes I laugh at something so ridiculously good. Like,
yeah, definitely.
And I've gotten comments. It was during a Dimash reaction where I laughed and they're like, well, that's disrespectful. You laughed. I'm like, oh, no. For me, that was like, this is so fucking insane. My brain can't fathom it. And I'm like,
sometimes shock forces laughter, right? Like it's the only thing you have left.
Like, what is this? Like, this is not humanly possible, you know? And I remember having to explain that, because I remember getting torched for that. Like, why are you laughing? That's so disrespectful. Yeah, there is sometimes where I laugh, and it does mean, you know, I can see the confusion, because there's moments where I hear the most ridiculous voice and I can't help it but chuckle. Like, and to me, it sounded like that, you know?
It's such a compliment, and someone's like, don't laugh at this fucking guys. And you're like, Jesus, calm down.
Yeah, it's just,
I'm enjoying it. You're making me not enjoy it now because you're so mad.
There's such a difference between like people. Hey, what's up, Ryan? Welcome back, man. There's such a difference between people that are, you know, watching a video and they love the band, right? Here's the issue that I have often, right? Because I don't like, I pause 13,000 times per video, and you know, some people that annoys, some people like that, But what that does do is it puts me in a situation where I find more negatives than I think people that wouldn't be pausing so consistently, right? So I'll be like, oh, I really like this, and this. I didn't love this, right? And it's as easy as like, you know, the Unleash video from BAND-MAID, where I didn't really like Misa's solo. I didn't really like the bass solo that she did in that song. And most of the time people are cool about that stuff. But because I like stop and I pause so much and I think about things, I often find all these negatives that are, if you were to look at it a percentage, it'd still be like 96% positive. But like that 4% negative, I'll get, you know, 30% of my comments will be about that 4% negative that I talked about. Of course. And I think that it's hard sometimes for people to hear anything negative about something that they like. But I also think that the ones that continue to follow you and understand it and will comment on it and be like, yeah, I get how you felt that, or even I didn't feel that way, but it's cool that you did. Those are the people that are like not just part of that like wave of algorithm that's like coming in just to watch the video that you made because of the band. They're actually there because they enjoy what you do personally, right? Like how you talk about it, how you break it down or whatever.
Yeah.
And I feel like but I feel like it's really easy to find that less than 5% negative and have that like be the focus of a lot of the comments and stuff like that. At least
I think we do the same thing though. Yeah, because like people will do that. You'll say 96% positive about a song and one thing that you don't like, and they like focus on that. But I think we've probably, well, I'll speak for myself. I've definitely had moments where like for like months I'll get like great video, great video, great video, great video, great video, and then the one person goes bad video. I'm like, what do you mean?
Yeah, and they're like, "This is the one I'm going to respond to."
But I'm not answering the other people. Yeah, well, I mean, that was like early days. I don't. Why you got to pause so much? Just play the video. Yeah. The usual. That one I'll take as a sarcastic one. I think we recognize that. But
no, there's dead serious.
If they're watching ours, they are definitely being
dude. It's
sarcastic
like
right now.
they're like I always get like who was it? I did someone's song and they saw it.
But Champ is wrong about the Misa solo. He's definitely completely 100% wrong.
Okay, but let me just say this. So the fact that Alan just said that, I love that, because I feel like too often in reactions, and even like group reactions, people will start to like kind of like collapse into each other, and
our
like,
reactions are a disaster.
Well, no, well, I mean, like, in the sense that, like, they'll agree with each other too much. They'll be like, it's almost like they, you know, somebody says something and then somebody else, oh, yeah, totally, yeah, blah, 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 blah. And, like, when I was a kid, man, like, me and my friends would debate. It was always a debate, right? Like, this is, you know, this is the song that I like the best. Oh, no, that one's not nearly as good as this one. I want to have these fights. I want to have these battles with people. You know what I mean? I want you to prove to me why Misa solo in that song I should like, you know what I mean? And tell me. And then I feel like it should be okay that we all feel differently about this. You know what I mean? But like sometimes it's that argument that people, and I'm not just talking about like between like the people that are reacting together, but also the people, the viewers themselves, that when they hear that argument, they take such a stance against one of the sides that there's like that debate just falls apart. There is no debate to be had anymore. It's just like one person's wrong, one person's right. Or, you know, even if you're doing like a solo reaction, they could just say, oh, I disagree with that one thing that you said. You're wrong. You know, blah, 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 blah. But I feel like there should be more debate out there. I feel like we should be having these conversations, and then the commenters should be feeling, you know, engaging also, be a part of this also. Come debate with me also in the comments. Why do you think that I was wrong about that? You know, just be respectful and stuff like that.
Now, I want to call you names and, you know, wish you to hell and all that stuff. That's way more fun.
It's a double-edged sword, because like I was talking to someone recently who said like someone who's like very complimentary about my videos, but said, I will never ever watch a song for the first time as your reaction. That like it drives me fucking insane. Like it just breaks it up for me. You pause all the time. I go watch the song and then I go, I can't wait to see if he picks up on this, or I wonder what he thinks about that. Then I'll come watch the video. I highly encourage that with anybody. Never listen to the song first on my reaction. Don't ever do that to yourself.
Yeah,
it's like someone else goes, oh, it's like going in, it's like trying to watch a movie and someone keeps going, hey, did you see the guy in the back?
Oh my god, it's so fucking annoying.
But then my point is, I'm like, I get it, and I agree. On the first point, I completely agree. It's like, don't watch my reaction if it's the first time you've seen the song. But the second thing is like, you clicked on the thing that said reaction video, right? So that's like going into like KFC and being mad that they're serving chicken. You fucking came here.
Yeah.
you picked this. You clicked on the thing. It didn't say original video. It says reaction right up front, real big.
Yeah.
So like, you know what you're in for. And then, but then the combat to that, it was a really good conversation. The combat to that was they've seen a bunch of reactors who just watched the video.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, I get it. So I'm like, oh, okay, I didn't think about that. Yeah, I get it.
That's true.
It's true. It's true. It's all about where you're coming from, right? Like, what has their experience been over the last 24 hours? Because that is going to definitely change how they experience your video.
Hell yes, yeah.
Mm-hmm. It's
Yeah,
very
but
interesting.
I don't think that's a
about that.
lot of people though that are doing that. You know, I can't imagine that's a lot of people that are doing that. Or
I
it's a
think
less amount.
I think it is, man.
Like just watching the video.
No, like just watching. Like, I mean, them watching a bunch of those ahead of time and expecting yours to be like that. Maybe some, but I can't imagine it's a lot. You guys
Well,
think it is?
listen, like I'll say this: like when Blackpink dropped their album 2 weeks ago, I immediately after their new song came out, I made my reaction for it, and then I watched like 20 reactions to it in a row. So I definitely grew an expectation unintentionally over the course of me watching those 20 reactions, right? So like if reaction number 8 was awesome and they actually like found a bunch of stuff their first time through and they talked about the stuff that I wanted to hear them talk about, then reaction number 9 might have been a huge disappointment just strictly based on how they did it.
It's so
But
fascinating.
did you comment and tell them how bad they were?
Yeah.
No,
I totally missed this.
See, that's the thing though. Like, I don't really ever see a purpose unless somebody is being intentionally like harmful, intentionally trying to piss people off. I don't ever see a purpose for leaving a negative comment or even a downvote. If I don't like a video that I turned on, I just turn it off. I don't see how like me hurting them is going to benefit me in any way, even if the video sucks. So unless the video is literally trying to piss me off, like that Nickelback video that I told you guys about that I watched the other day, which I actually did downvote. Outside of that, I just going to turn it off. Like, why hurt them just to
the
make
only
me feel
expectation I ever go in a reaction video is like, man, I can't wait to just like watch it with someone. I never think of it like how you were saying, Champ, where like, I wonder if they're going to say the things I think. I never have that in my head. I just go like, when I was watching him, it was more like, oh, I really like how happy this guy is. So I want to see how.
Well, that's the reason people do react. Or at least I believe that's the reason reaction videos exist and why they're successful. People, as far as I've understood, don't have time machines. So they have an experience with a song and they go, that is the most wonderful, like it made me filled with joy, like I had a deep connection to X.
Yep.
They can never have that moment again. The closest they can get is to watch someone else have it. It's why reaction videos succeed, right? But then again, so if you watch somebody who doesn't have the reaction that you did, some people in the world want to say a negative thing. And Champ, to your point, like there's I don't know if you know I'm sure you do know the comedian / actor Ricky Gervais, right? Everyone knows him.
Of course, yeah.
But he's got a joke in one of his things where he's like, it's the equivalent of like going into town to a community board, seeing a thing that says free guitar lessons, and you like pull off one of the slips, you call them up and you go, I don't want fucking guitar lessons. It's like, if you didn't like it, move on with your life. Like it's free. It's free. Like it's free. You don't have to like do like if I watch a video, any other video that isn't a reaction video, and I find it boring or just like whatever, I go, I'll watch a different video. I don't. So like it's the same thing should apply to this. I really like what you said around like, what is the benefits for anybody in saying a hurtful thing, unless you're combating or defending yourself? Like, what's the point in saying just a hurtful thing to somebody who's like really proud of this thing they did?
Honestly, even if I see very little effort put into something, like, one of those reactions, for example, where people are just watching the screen and then turning it off. For me to like, go on there and leave a comment that says like, hey dude, like you suck at this. What a waste of time this was for me. It's like, dude, that was 6 minutes long. Like who cares if I wasted my 6 minutes? And he doesn't need to know that I didn't like his video. Maybe he was trying really hard. You know what I mean? And I don't even know. It just didn't seem that way. Either way, like I kind of try to live by the rule that mom taught me, like if you got nothing nice to say, don't say anything at all.
But there are people who it's the same mentality of the people who will just have nothing to do with, they'll just walk up to a police person and be like, what are you doing? You know, I pay your fucking salary. You know, those kind of people. Those are the people on YouTube who are like, I gave you ad revenue. I gave you my time. Like they feel an ownership over a thing that they are largely disconnected from. So, and in essence, if you wanted to draw a straight line, you could, for sure. You know, tax pay salaries and views pay AdSense, but it's such a wild thing to think that because you watched something and somebody and the company that, you know, YouTube that does this ran an ad, you now have like creative license to be an absolute arsehole.
I feel like that's in like you said, it's not just like, it applies to so many things. You know, the amount of times that I've seen, you know, I love professional wrestling, for example, and the amount of times I see people comment on Twitter and shit, hey, I bought a ticket. I should be able to not only do whatever I want, but say whatever I want because I am now paying their salary by buying a ticket for them. It's
insane.
like, no, dude, you're not paying their salary. Like, the company is paying their salary. You are adding to the revenue that the company is making, but that doesn't give you complete jurisdiction over how everything should be able to go in the future. Like, you didn't just buy the company.
If the person got less money as a result of you not buying the ticket, then that could be true. But they get the same salary whether you went or not. So it just proves that like people are just full of shit.
And you're one of thousands, if not millions, of people that are contributing to this. So like, yeah, sure, dude. Like, you have, congratulations, you added 0.0000 etc. 1, you know, to whatever's happening right now. I don't think that should give you complete ownership over how things are going in the future.
Yeah. I was about to say, those viewers must feel they're getting a real discount. Like Simno said, they're getting 0.00003 gives you, right?
Yeah, right. Like that's how much of the, like, that if you have that much stock, right? Like, you should be able to run the company, right?
I also don't like. I think that everyone in here is, and I say adult enough. I don't mean it in terms of age. I mean it in terms of like, we've been doing this long enough to understand some of the psychology behind people who say outlandish and mean things, who send weird emails, who go out of their way to like blast you. We started the whole thing with that for Ryan. Like, that guy just like went off the fucking rails. But there are people, and this is where this is where I find it really difficult, and I would genuinely love to hear what you guys think, because there are times where I want to comment back to someone and say, like, and sometimes I do, and I go, what the fuck, man? Like, and then they go, oh, I never thought you'd see this, or they have some other thing they say. But there are people who do this YouTube thing who are, no matter the size of their channel, could be huge, could be tiny, who genuinely like attach their self-esteem, their self-worth, their confidence to vanity metrics. It's what happens you see it on Instagram, you see it everywhere. And just like in high school and just like in anywhere in a sports team, if you bully someone enough, that has a severe consequence on their mental health for some people. And they do not know how to deal with that. They don't know how to compartmentalize. They don't know how to put it in a box and go, it's not real. And you end up with real fucking problems from that, like real problems. We're not talking about money here. You're talking about people who like spiral emotionally, and it can ruin their lives. Like, because yes, it is, you shouldn't attach those things to the stuff, but like, people need to understand. I put up a thing a while ago, I told you guys, to say, hey, hopefully this is a teachable moment. Like, don't do this kind of stuff. Like, there are some people this really affects. Do you ever have that thought, and do you ever like, what do you do with it?
So I'm gonna say this is 100% has happened to me, and I don't even know how I made it out to like stop doing it. Like I said, that's what led to me kind of self-medicating in that way. You know what I mean? Because I didn't think I always thought, I'm like, man, I've been running restaurants, I've been training employees, I can handle this. But then I didn't realize, oh, dude, you were a fucking boss forever. Nobody was telling you the truth whatsoever. You know what I mean? So when I went into the YouTube thing, like thinking, I can handle comments, and I realized really quickly, like, no, I can't. Because we were answering every single comment in the beginning, every single one we replied. People that follow Dichotic, they know this. For the first year, there was never one comment without a reply in the beginning. So we read every single one, and that will fuck your head up. It did for me, and it did for Eric also. So that's why Eric had to check out. He was like, hey, I'm done. I didn't think he was going to come back. He did come back, but we were just like, I was too stubborn to stop. I just kept going. I'm like, nah, I'm going to keep doing it. I'm going to keep doing it. And yeah, I realized how many mental health issues I had doing the channel. And then it took me a full 2 years to figure out how to navigate out of it. So that was kind of interesting. I learned a lot about myself just doing the channel. I'm like, fuck, I need to make some huge changes.
I feel like burnout is like such a common phrase that's used amongst YouTubers nowadays as like this like reason for people needing a break, to the point that people may not even take it seriously, really. But the burnout is a mental thing, like 100%, and most of us are dealing with that. It's not like, oh, I'm just so tired of music, or I just don't feel like making videos. It's literally like everything that comes along with it, and like your mental state. Like if you're tracking the numbers, the views, the like ratios, the comments, all that stuff, every time you put up a video, you're thinking about each of these.
That's me, 100%.
Things, right? And if sometimes it's just overwhelming to even like, let's say you shit the bed for like 10 days in a row, right? Like it's just like your stuff is doing shitty, you're getting bad comments, you fucked up on something getting whatever it is, right? That 11th video that you're gonna put up, you're thinking about it beforehand, like, fuck, do I even want to deal with the fallout of whatever is going to happen with this? And that's where I think the burnout really comes in strong. And that's where I think it's like mentally you have to be in a decent enough place to do this, or else it's just going to keep taking you down further every single time. I think luckily for me personally, I hate myself enough that other people hating me has never really affected me too much. I've got enough self-loathing for all of us.
That's not good, man.
So but also it means that it doesn't really affect me much when other people hate me. So I'm already at the bottom of the barrel. It's okay.
I'll see if I can talk without having my connection go bad. But I think with me, the amount of positivity that I've gotten from doing this is such a larger percentage than any negativity I got, that I just kind of laugh at all. And it's not just from the videos, it's Discord, and relationships have been formed with that. And as far as, this is still kind of a side thing for me, as opposed to like just what I do. So I think it's easier for me to enjoy it a little more. And I was about to take a step to make it the only thing I'm doing, and I got so fucking stressed out just thinking about doing that I had to take a step back. Like, dude, if I do that, I'm not going to enjoy it. So it's still a side thing.
I probably suffer from the same luxury as I don't earn money from it, so it feels a little bit easier to enjoy. And people saying mean things, it still doesn't always feel necessarily very good. But Champ, I'm glad you're back here. I know you're just saying that, and please don't take this as me trying to do a pep talk or anything, but I know you're saying like you have enough self-loathing and stuff. I get you on like a ton of levels on that, dude, but I just individually, like, I woke up excited to talk to you as one of many people here. So don't I don't know how much you're just having fun with it, or how much that is a real thing, but you don't, like, I woke up with genuine like excitement just because you were going to be one of the people in this.
Hey, thanks, buddy.
Even if you were half sneezing for. But yeah, I wouldn't beat yourself up too much. There's a number of people who give a shit, and I think that goes for anybody. You don't need a fucking YouTube channel to understand that, but everyone's value is often majority hidden to themselves.
Yeah.
I agree, and I appreciate that, Chase. And yes, as much self-loathing as might actually exist underneath, there's also a healthy dollop of ego and arrogance as well.
Of course. How do we live?
It's just all of it. So I don't actually like. I mean, sometimes I do, of course. Yeah. I think a lot of us often will hate ourselves for time periods, and then realize, hey, no, I'm not so bad. I'm actually kind of cool, right? Yeah. So you go through the whole gambit of emotions towards yourself. But no, I appreciate you saying that. But I'm safe. Don't worry. I'm not going to jump off my roof anytime soon.
Back to what Ryan was saying, I think he has a really good point with that, because that's definitely the thing that helped me, is just working for another YouTuber and doing her videos. Is like, it definitely helps to just like, okay, I'm just going to be part of. Go ahead, Ryan.
So, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you, but you taking your skill you've learned from making videos and turn it into a way to make stuff without putting all the stress on you. Like you can still do what you want to do, but you're still using your skills to have a steadier income. It's a great thing to be able to do, man.
Did our stream drop?
Yeah, it looked like it dropped out of nowhere. I don't know why.
It's probably me, dude. If you guys have been fine, it's probably me.
No.
No. They said they lost all of us. I think.
Yeah, that's this is on my end this time. Yeah, this is being recorded, guys, and it'll be on the podcast. I don't know what's going on. I live in a very bad area.
Never stream during this time though.
That's like the benefit of recording it, man. That's like the massive benefit is you can like upload it in its rawest form.
Yeah, thank you OBS for the auto recording, by the way, because I didn't even know that you could fucking do that until I started using OBS recently. And I was like, oh shit, this records it for me. I don't even have to press anything. That's amazing.
Yeah, it was a random glitch. Guys, thanks for sticking around, though. We appreciate it. Surfing a song wave brings up a good point. Grades became a measure of what like as kids, right? I think it was what you're getting at. So when you go into something like YouTube and you have all these like metrics to follow and grades and stuff follow, you kind of get caught up in it, you know? And it is fun.
It's a good way to think about it.
And for me, I was a big gamer when I was younger. Luckily, guitar got me out of that. I was obsessed with playing games. And that's all has that kind of thing. So like I kind of treat everything like a video game. So like for me, I get sucked into metrics real quick in the beginning. Like me, it's immediate. Afterwards, I'm like watching, like
But it's also like the change too. It's like I don't know if you guys have ever been in like a relationship with a girl where like every morning she calls you baby, right? Every morning she calls you hey baby, how you doing?
Oh,
right?
Shit.
And then 6 months later she says, hey, how you doing? She doesn't call you baby. And you go, wait a minute, what the fuck happened? Something's wrong. Something's changed. Why didn't you call me baby today? And then she doesn't call you baby the next day. It's the same thing with like the YouTube thing where it's like, okay, well, I was doing really well. And now, wait, yesterday it shit the bed. And now today it's shitting the bed again too. It's like, what changed? So it's not necessarily just the metrics themselves that you exhaust yourself over, but it's also the change in whatever happened. Like, did something shift that I don't know about? And then that's a new concern on you.
I'm a little concerned about like, because like I said, I'm lucky that I don't have to like worry about that stuff. I don't really look at metrics at all, but a friend of mine recently, a little bit ago, he's got like a lot of connections in the music industry, and he was putting me in touch with Corey Taylor about something. And I, as part of that process, he's like, can you just send over some stats of like your channel? And I was like what? Like what? He's like, I'm like, subscribers and stuff. He's like, yeah, whatever you can, subscribers and total views and stuff like that. And I was like, it's for like the label. And okay, yeah. And I went and I looked, and that's like dangerous stuff to do, because you look and you go, Jesus Christ, like there's like 11 million views. Like who the fuck? And then I start panicking. Like I'm start getting like an anxiety. It's like, I'm like 11 fucking million people watch. How many hours? I was like, no, what the fuck? And I start like getting like, I have like a moment where I'm like, this is, then you do a bit of the, that's when I do a bit of the self-loathing stuff. It's like, I don't deserve that. Surely. Like, what have I, and so when I am able to monetize one day, I get a bit concerned about like, to your points, Alan, about like gamifying things and like getting sucked into metrics, because if you're going to earn an income from it, like you've got to care about the numbers. You have to. It doesn't mean you have to operate solely on them, but you have to care about the numbers.
Yeah,
I can sit here in an arrogant position all fucking day long and be like, I don't know how many views that has, because I don't. I can tell you that if I was earning an income, I sure as fuck would know.
Yeah.
Right.
That matters, the reason that you're doing it, the purpose, and like, how much of it determines what your life is going to be moving forward. It's like, I would love to be the type of person that could just say, I love to do this. I love music. I love talking about music, and I don't give a shit how my stuff performs because I want to do this anyway. I would be doing this with my buddies regardless. Hey, baby. But outside of that, it's like there are still other things that matter. Like, once, you know, we talked about the mental state and stuff like that. Obviously, there are financials that are part of this for some of us, stuff like that. You know, if I went from, you know, the $1,200 that I made on Patreon last week to $0 next month, that would hurt me, you know, in life. And that's not just me being like, you know, I need money for what I'm doing. It's me literally being like, I'd have to change my life and do something differently, you know, if that went away. So these things actually are important, as much as we don't like to talk about them, as much as I hate to bring up money ever, you know, especially when it involves something like this, which I actually do enjoy, you know, us just talking to each other and stuff like that. But I'll be straight up, like when Alan approached me originally to start doing this podcast, I was like, listen, man, I struggle enough to get my stuff going, you know, to get my stuff out there. And this sounds like a lot of fun, but if we're going to be doing it, you know, if there's not going to be any money involved, I don't know if I'm going to have time, because I have a part-time job also that I'm going to have to go to in those moments, you know. And ultimately, even though that stuff mattered, I still decided, like, okay, I don't even care if there's going to be money, because I was having so much fun doing this that this just became a hobby and something that I want to keep doing. I really enjoy this stuff, but that doesn't mean that, like, you know, the next endeavor that I go on, unless I were to, you know, get a new job and, like, you know, change my life and maybe get a new apartment and stuff like that, I would want there to be some sort of, like, financial implications to
Stability.
Yeah, just for me to be able to keep doing what I'm doing.
But people judge this whole YouTube thing. Sorry, this is something I'm very passionate about, so I don't mean to be like shouting out a bunch of fucking inputs over everybody. But people like judge a lot because they look at the YouTube thing because they have like what we would deem as regular jobs, right? It doesn't matter what you work in. Like they go, well, don't get attached to views, don't get attached to this, don't get attached to this. And it's like, I get it. Don't get attached to it. But can you imagine, like, if you work in a bank, your salary isn't, as you're a teller in a bank, your salary isn't dependent on how many people come to you specifically to fulfill a particular task or withdraw.
Right.
If it was, you'd be fucking a lot more emotionally connected to the number of people who walk through that door. You would be. Yes, your long-term employment is dependent on of performance, but it isn't dependent on the small little numbers. Like, so when you know, I've been, and I will say this openly, I have been massively guilty of seeing people like fucking celebrating, like, I've reached this, and like weird numbers. They celebrate these weird numbers, and I've had initial thoughts of like, what the fuck? And then I go, dude, it's because it doesn't have to matter to you. That's why you don't get it. That's why you're like, why are they doing that? It matters everything to them. It matters about paying rent. It matters about buying food. It matters about being able to be financially stable so that their relationship can remain, because finances and everything matters. It does. It's like I have to sit back and just think.
Because like me running Carl's Jr., it's the same thing. I have to have transactions. We measured everything by transactions and sales. I had to push my GMs to hit certain numbers, because guess what happens if they don't? I have to let them go. You know, because otherwise I lose my job, right? It's kind of similar.
If you get word of somebody coming in and returning their meal, that matters. Like,
and you remember those
to the guy running the cash register, but to the manager, why is he returning his meal? What the fuck's going on? And
and that really matters, because, you know, if that one person, like, I would be so thankful that they would return their meal, because there's so many people, me included, that I used to have to preach this to GMs, like, that don't say anything. And they quietly go tell everybody else. And then you wonder why you dropped 1,000 transactions within a month. It's the same kind of thing, you know, like that's why it has to be consistent, you know. So it's like the same thing. All businesses that are just ran like that, including YouTube and metrics, you have to be consistent with the videos, right? So it can be a little. So when you see those reactors that have the same reaction every single time, I get why they're doing it, because it's a consistency thing. You know exactly what you're going to get when you go to that channel. And I can think of one specifically, but guess what? It's working for them, whether you want to knock that person or not. There's some channels that react the same way every time, and it does work, because some people don't give a fuck. They're like, I want a specific reaction. There's people out there that want specific things, so that's why it's different flavor for everyone, you know?
Go for it, Ryan.
Yeah, there's a recent video of a restoration of an old guitar they found in a barn, and it's completely fucking fake and bullshit. Over 1 million views, first one.
Yeah.
A couple of videos were put out that debunked it, proved it was a road-worn Strat that can't be more than 11 years old. They hid the stamped in road worn strat underneath the pit guard with a piece of foil. He pointed out the tags that were removed, showing it was a road worn strat. It's a lie. It's a fucking lie. They put out a second video and everybody's watching it. I mean, no, they don't give a fuck.
But the one thing, two things quick. Alan, what you said just now about like you're so thankful when people return the meal, that just made me feel like an absolute hypocrite, because I'm like, I completely agree with you. But I was not 20 minutes ago saying people, hey, if you don't like a video, just move on. I feel like a complete fucking hypocrite, because I'm like, yeah, I think the problem is I sometimes fall into the trap of not viewing the YouTube world, a reaction world specifically, as the same as like a what you'd call.
That's why I read all the comments, but
yeah.
it's a balance. And I suffered from reading all of them, because I didn't know how to separate it until now. Literally,
but I think it's how people comment. Like like someone wrote, feedback is really valuable. Yeah, feedback is.
Yeah,
being an arsehole isn't valuable at all.
Yeah, there's a difference between constructive criticism and just pure judgment, right? And like if you're clicking on a video and you see somebody talk and you're just like, I'm gonna judge everything about what they talked about or how they said it or whatever, and you literally don't have any additives in there that would make them better in the future. They're just like, you suck, you have a stupid voice and I hate that pimple on the side of your face. Like, what the fuck is the point of that, right? But if you go, hey man, like I would really like this video a lot more if maybe you paused a couple times less. I don't get angry at the people that are like, you need to pause less. I get it. I get that my influencer reaction was 25 fucking minutes long. Like I understand, you know what I mean? Like I totally feel you. I'm not going to change for it, but I appreciate the sentiment that you're actually giving me some sort of constructive feedback rather than just like, you're a clown and I'm never watching.
There's a skill in how to assess feedback too. Like sometimes people assess feedback completely wrong. Like I've done this so many times where I've gotten feedback and my first initial emotional reaction is like, fuck this guy, and then I'm like, wait a second, I get what he's saying. Like for instance with Champ, like here's something to talk about, just calling out on things I think Ryan and I both have, where we say, and I have this issue a lot, and I've learned to talk better, where Chase has mastered the art of getting straight to the point of what you need to say, like having context, right? Or make sure you're not going off on tangents, is like how we should probably take that criticism. Like, what they really mean is maybe I need to be more clear about what I say instead of repeating what I just said in a different way 5 times. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. I struggle with that too.
I struggle with that also. So
that is definitely that's something that you learn, I think, and it takes practice. I mean, it's crazy to me because I went to school for that, like that was what I majored in, mass communications. That's what my focus was on. And it was all to be able to speak to a large, group of people without them being able to speak back to me. That's what the whole major is about, right? Oh. So I'm doing what I actually went to school for, but I still fall into the trap that Alan does, where it's like, and you can just even tell just from some of the phrases that I use, I constantly say stuff like, you know what I mean? Even though nobody can fucking respond because I'm talking to nobody most of the time, but it's like, I feel like in that moment, I'm not being clear enough. So I have to ask them what I mean, and then I have to reiterate it over and over again until I say it exactly. I think that it is such a talent, such a skill to be able to say something that I can say in 2 paragraphs. If you could say that in 1 sentence, that is like magic to me.
Well, it's all the difference between, I think it comes down to the difference between providing feedback, which is effectively an opinion, and then providing a critique. Because the thing with an opinion, you're just allowed to have one. With critique, you need to be qualified. And qualified means a number of things. You don't have to be. I love rugby. I'm a big rugby fan. I used to play rugby as for a long time till I got hurt. And I played the game enough and I followed it enough that I feel like I could provide some level of criticism to some certain things, right? I have experience in that thing. But I certainly wouldn't be providing critique on a movie. I've never made a movie. I've watched a ton of them. I can provide an opinion. And I think that that's what it boils down to, is like on YouTube, it's like somebody going, hey man, personally, like I think someone was saying about your mic, like, okay, personally, I think the mic's a bit soft or the music's a bit loud or whatever it is. That's like a personal opinion, and that might be quite helpful. But if someone's like, I think you're doing your videos are wrong, you should do them this, okay, motherfucker, how many videos you made? Go do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you feel so strongly, go make one. Go see how difficult it is to turn a camera on, knowing that any number of people are going to watch this. Any number of people are going to comment on whether you. I mean, I get it all the time. I get people going, "Jesus Christ, did you put on weight?" I'm like, "Yeah, I decided I didn't want to run for a while."
What's it to you?
I'm like, I didn't know that that's what this is about, but thanks, you bastard. I was like, thanks, man, appreciate it. But they do that, right? I'm like, but you know that you're doing that. I had a guy and his daughter. Still good with them. I don't talk to him that much anymore. He came to me and said, I want to start a reaction channel with my daughter. And his daughter's early teens, I think. His whole thing was he wanted to expose her to the music he loved growing up. I thought that was really sweet. I thought it was a really nice idea. And I went, I will give you as much tips and like you don't have to make the same mistakes I did. Like, I think that's not necessary. I can help you with that on one condition. You have to promise me she doesn't see anything. She just makes the videos with you, and that's her involvement in this, because that shit is not good for a kid. It's just not good. It's certainly not good for a young girl. I know how people are. I know that people. I bitch like a child. I go, look at the hate I got. Can you imagine if I was an attractive female? I know some who do this game, and they get some of the most outlandish shit ever. I mean, the stuff I get looks like nothing compared to that. So it's like criticism versus feedback. If you want to, I'm pretty sure everyone who's in here is well versed with you guys. Provide feedback. Tell people what you think could be helpful. But if you start saying it's wrong or it's right, go and try and do it once. Do it on your phone. You don't need gear. Do it on your phone one time, and then come back and tell us how easy it is.
There's something like, I remember Wave and I talking, like I've had the issue where like kind of where you have the accident where you like push your feedback to and it's not being asked for. I've definitely had that issue for sure, 100%. But I noticed with the like reaction to with the community, like we evolve, a lot of people had like kept their distance between everybody and like not help each other out. And sometimes it helps to hear from a YouTuber. That's why I had a YouTube group and stuff where it'd be like, hey man, you should cut that off because, you know, people are tuning out or skipping over. It's going to hurt your video, and trying to help each other out. There's ways to deliver that message no matter what, you know?
I also think though, the people that are getting that message, right. I think that there are a lot of people that are naturally defensive just in general. And somebody could be providing constructive criticism to them, and they could take that in a very defensive way and be like, just like, you know, we're talking about the commenters maybe only focusing on the negatives every once in a while, certain people, the reactors, same way, you know, the YouTube content creators, same way. They might get a piece of very, obviously trying to help feedback, and they could immediately just focus in on the fact that there is a negative aspect to it and be like, well, fuck you then, type of thing, you know? So it's really just this like circle of just like people need to be a little bit more mature, I think, when speaking to each other, especially with the internet around so prevalently right now. And we're always just having these conversations with strangers. You know, there are so many strangers out there. There are obviously with us, we've been doing this for a while, so we've developed a rapport with a lot of the people that follow our channel. But, you know, there's still like, you know, if you look at my stats, so like 85% of the people that watch it are not subscribed to my channel. So a lot of them are people that I've never engaged with before. And I think all parties naturally have this instinct to fight back when anything negative is said about something that they love or something about themselves. And I think that is strictly just a maturity thing, and being able to accept judgment or criticism on yourself, but also being able to provide that in a eloquent and articulate way. I think it's got to be this like unspoken handshake agreement amongst everybody involved in order for that to actually work out, so that people aren't constantly getting offended or getting into big fights or anything like that.
It's intense, man. This whole YouTube thing is like started as a fun video, right? You just were like, I'm gonna make some videos and see what happens, and then you get tied into like the drama, the critique, the production, the quality, the like, is it good enough, competitiveness, and then you try to help, and then you have bad experiences, you have good ones. It's kind of the reason that I am sitting here is I kind of in the beginning had no connection to anyone, and then I had a lot of connection, and then I shut that shit down real quick. And now I'm like, when you guys reached out and they're like, hey, you want to have a chat? So I was like, yeah, it seems but I just instinctually was like, that seems like fun. That seems like cool. Like I've seen your guys' videos. I kind of have gotten to like, I want to say no. You never do know, but you get to see a bit of the authenticity. Oh, that sounds like fun. Had that first chat and I was like, hell yeah, I'm up for another one. Like it just you just get a feeling of like a good experience and you just go, that just feels nice. Like I'm gonna do more of the thing that feels nice.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. After doing this for a while, that's what matters. You know. Ultimately, you go through the whole thing where like this matters, and then at the end of the day, you finally come to this conclusion. What matters the most is that I'm actually enjoying this experience in general.
This is what Ron's saying here. Maybe calling your vids reviews instead of reactions would change what people are expecting. I want to bring up a really good point to this. Here's the problem: is putting the word review automatically tunes out about 50% of the audience.
It also implies that you've already heard it because review is after. Yeah. I haven't, so I can't.
A lot of people will put reaction for better or for worse, I guess, to make sure they get you to the video.
For worse, I have to say for worse. I hate it when somebody writes reaction and then like within the first like 30 seconds they're like, yeah, so the first time that I listened to this, blah blah blah, and I'm like, it's not a fucking reaction then, bro. Like you have already had your reaction to this song.
The
like
common
that feels
one is
like a cheap ploy.
The common one is first time listening to like fucking Nirvana, and then 2 seconds in they're like, oh, I've heard this, and it's like, hey, come on.
Like you knew you heard this before you fucking made this video, bro.
Come on.
Oh man.
I'm definitely went into some thinking I never heard it and did, but I'm honest and I'll put a review, but in the video it'll be me saying this is the first time hearing this, and then I'll correct myself, but I don't try and bullshit my way through it. But I think, did you guys touch already on people saying first time reacting to BAND-MAID and then tagging on a bunch of shit?
Oh, what we're gonna do now?
First time reacting to the kick drum.
Yes, we said that. Yeah, I said that.
Yeah, he did actually.
I'm so tired of seeing that shit. First time reaction to BAND-MAID song. It's like,
well, here's the thing. I know who here uses vidIQ.
I do actually use it, not as much anymore, but
so I've got it. I don't have like a premium thing. I just got it a long time ago. It seems like somewhat helpful. I guess it can be quite helpful if you have the premium one. But I know of a lot of people who have a couple of them admitted it to me, but a couple of them you can just see. They'll like put my name in their videos.
Oh yeah, I've done that. I've put your name in my video, yours and Tank's.
And so that was the question I was going to ask you. I was going to say, have you done it? And like,
yes. 100%.
Because there's a thing, right? So there's two parts of it. The one is like, well, he's not in the video. Is that misleading? The other thing is, well, if you like his stuff, I'm doing something somewhat similar. It's a pretty rather that than an ad for somebody else who's just.
Well, I put it as a tag, not in the title, because tags don't.
No, not the title. In the tag.
Yeah, I put it in a tag. I think it's okay with the tags because tags is you're letting people know if it's a similarity. So yeah, when I saw your videos, I'm like, well, I talk about music stuff, so that's worth it, and it's a really clever way to get your video at the end of when your video is done playing. That's why I would do it. That's my argument against it, and why I would do it. But
for me, it's like depends who does it, right? So if you're doing it, it's effectively an end screen. If you didn't add one, it's effectively like a different kind of end screen. But if somebody's doing it who's like reacting to, I don't know, horror films or like police
that's
incidents, weird. I'm like, what the fuck?
No. only thing that the tags help you with actually, so when you do the end screen and you get 3 choices, you can choose specific video or you can choose latest upload, or you can choose best for viewer. It helps you for those people that accidentally put the best for viewer. So that's where it pops in. So if you have the tag, and a lot of people don't choose specifically with it, so they'll choose best for viewers. So when I have those tags in there, so like say I think that's your video, your video might have done it. I think you put best for viewers. So if you put best for viewers, it's gonna put Dichotic right afterwards. So when I watched your reaction to Nemophila, it didn't surprise me that mine came up. And the funny part is I didn't put your name in there, but I did it in past videos. So sometimes the algorithm will just be like, oh, these 2 channels are related. And then
I started just on that because this is a good point. I got this thing of like, hey man, like what good can I do? Because I don't earn income. Like, so when I'm done with the reaction at whoever comes up on the screen, I go, whether I know them or not, I go, hey, go have a look. I'm not vouching for him unless I know the person. And then I go, it's pretty good stuff.
Yeah.
But I started finding the same people coming up, like people that I don't necessarily watch, and people that I don't really necessarily, I'm not criticizing the video. It's just not for me. Like, it's not whatever.
Yeah.
So I was like, I should probably just chat to people like you guys I know and go, hey, if you like this, maybe go watch that, because it's much more valuable to direct people in that way.
Yeah.
Then, especially if I have a song that, like, if I do a song to a brand new band and it's a style or a genre I'm not ultra familiar with, I always try and link the genres as an end screen. So, like, I'm not going to do BAND-MAID and then link you to Nightwish as an end screen. I'm going to do BAND-MAID and then I may link you to Dolls Boxes. So I know they're not the same thing, but like something just in the same universe, like something in the universe. So, like, for me, it became more beneficial to go, hey, if you've done a reaction, just like, I'll put your link in the description and go, instead of clicking on the same face, because they happen to get hundreds of thousands of views.
Yep. Yeah, so that's what what do you ever use that? Did you ever use the vidIQ stuff, or?
I mean, I've got it. I don't use it, like, as in, it's never helped me. I've got like the free one. I've never used, it's never been helpful to me in terms of like suggesting tags that like I hadn't already known about. I
It's
don't
just like a little
particularly.
boost.
Yeah, I think if I don't earn an income, so I'm not bothered with the stats. I think when I do, I think it'd be pretty helpful, man. I think it would be like just adding like maybe a 5% deeper layer of detail on information or visualization of information that I don't already see. But it's just because I'm not, like, I literally, people send me weird as shit. They go, hey man, your last video didn't do so well. And I literally was like, what do you mean? And they're like, oh, it didn't get a lot of views. I'm like, oh no, I enjoyed it though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The enjoyment for me at the moment comes from filming the video. All the other stuff is semantics.
Right, man. I'll gladly put out a video I know is going to get like 250 views. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
If the band, if I watched it, enjoyed the band, and I get 2 comments or 1 that says, hey, I never heard of this before, thank you.
Awesome.
I'm cool with it, man. That's why part of why I did it was just, I like to talk about music and discuss it. And that's what we talked while you watch reaction videos. And I'm like, well, I could do that. And then it turned into me discovering so much music that I just wanted to share it with whoever I could. So that's more my goal, is to get people to, if they're tuning to me, then they might run into something they haven't heard. And then that helps whatever band that is.
I did it with Every Time I Die. Like, I knew that, like, that's not a giant market thing, but like I'm obsessed with them. I grew up with them. Like that was like, they've been one of the staples. They've broken up now, but like, it's brothers in a band. I was in a band with my brother. They play exactly the kind of aggressive music that isn't necessarily metal, but it's definitely like, it was at the kind of Hellfest stage of things. Like, I fucking love them. So when they put out a new album after a while, I definitely did a song. And the purpose of that was to go, hopefully somebody else finds them and falls in love the way I did. Like, that's the goal of it. But again, I'm super privileged with that, like massively privileged. I don't have to worry about that kind of view stuff. But I'd be lying to you if I told you that when I do a video that does very well and people say nice things, it does make you feel good, because it does.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. 100%. Yeah, there's some people that get like righteous about it and are like, oh no, I didn't think that, or or like ashamed of it. But like, hey man, if you're doing it for a living, you're doing it for a living. It's not that you're having less fun doing it. I mean, the whole goal is most people like to enjoy their job, and sometimes it has some rough days. But I mean, when I was being a supervisor for Carl's Jr., I actually enjoyed doing it. I was like one of the crazy people that liked working the fast food restaurant business because it just fit my personality.
Dude.
So
I have a job actually like too.
Yeah.
This is the point. This is my point of it. Like, I spoke to, again, someone recently who, my job is actually marketing. I'm a social media director in a consumer sensory data company. I have done this whole thing, the social media thing, as a career for over 10 years. I helped Coca-Cola with the Olympics. I've helped the Barclays. I helped Barclays with the Premier League. I've done really, really, really big stuff. Coke was a client of mine for 5 years. I know how this stuff works. I know how you can tactically do things and move things and change the needle and stuff like that. Yes, largely for consumers with CPG brands and stuff like that. But I've made a conscious and very, very solid decision to not use any of that information in my channel at all, because then I'm going from work to work. I'm literally just doing it as if I know nothing about marketing, because in this instance, I don't want to. If I chose to, yeah, I could. Everyone goes, well, like, oh, you don't have it. I had a guy go, like, when are you going to get as many followers as X person? I don't know who the fuck it was. And I was like, dude, what the fuck? Like, this isn't a thing. If I wanted to, I could switch it on tomorrow and it would be easy. There's quick ways to do these things. They aren't long lasting, but there's quick ways to do them. And I want to keep my job, even though I really like it. I want to keep this, even though I really like it. I want it to be creative. I want it to be fun. I want it to be awesome. And I don't, when I have to earn an income from it, I want to be able to find a way to do that healthily without feeling like I'm going from one job to the next. That's tough.
Yeah. No, I completely agree, man. It's like one of those things. So when I didn't enjoy doing Carl's Jr. anymore, I left. And that's when I realized, wait a second, I wanted to do music as a career this whole time. What the fuck am I doing? You know? So I got everything I got out of that job and just switched gears. You know, it was like, all right, well, it's not satisfying because I was learning a lot of new skills, and you plateau with skills, you know. That's one thing I really like about YouTube. God damn, I've gained a lot of skills doing YouTube, that's for sure. I didn't know how to video edit, didn't know how to talk to the camera, didn't know how to do any of this stuff. So
be patient.
Yeah, be
so
patient.
much.
That was one of mine,
So
like patience.
mental
It changes
mental
it changes so much about like who you are and how you act. At least it did for me. Like I was such a fucking I just didn't want to talk to people. I got to a certain point in my life where I was just like socially just like completely I'm just gonna stay in my room and play video games and not talk to anybody. And then YouTube, you know, like being forced to talk to the camera and then stream and stuff like that has made it. And then obviously, you know, you guys, the guys and the people that we bring on here were like the final sort of stepping stone to me being like a more sociable person again. And I think that it changes you as a person, you know, just being able to speak to a camera on an everyday basis. If that's something that you never did before, it kind of makes you reassess how you speak in general and what you feel comfortable with. I think it's so crazy.
Yeah. I think some of the people that don't realize that they stop doing YouTube, those are people that like quit, that don't adapt to what's going on.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Because it is hard. If you're wondering why some of the YouTubers you love quit, it's most likely mental. Most of the time, like 90% of the time, it's always a mental thing that comes up that people are suffering with that they didn't realize was there.
I also think there's that element of people that are like, and I think I went through this a little bit in the beginning also, where they're like, okay, let's see if I can be successful. And then they do something and they get to a relative amount of success and they go, okay, now what? And it's it's like they got what they were seeking, sort of like they got some validation, they got likes, they got views, they got comments, and people liked them. And then they're like, well, okay, I did it. And now I don't really need that anymore, type of thing. And I think a lot of them fade out after that moment.
Yeah. Well, I just admitted to that kind of thing when I came back on here. Do I want to do like just this? I have so many more ideas I want to do with like music and art and stuff that people like seeing. But as it is right now, I have to pick like do a guitar playing video or do a drawing video or do reactions. I don't have time to do them all. And I'm like limiting myself by continuing to work, but I don't know. See, I'm afraid to take that fucking leap because I think I could probably do it, but I might not.
Yeah.
and I'm in the rare situation where I have a job I like, so I don't necessarily want to leave my job. If I hated my job, I'd be fucking gone.
Easy, yeah.
You know, so I know I'm limiting myself what I can do on as far as this platform goes, and even for Patreon and stuff. But I'm gonna keep. I like what I'm doing and the results I'm getting, so I'm going to keep doing that and try. And I was able to rearrange my hours, so instead of working at 6 a.m. you know, for 9 hours, I just went to 5 8-hour days, which is easier to do shit at night. I don't have to be up so early, so I can apply more that way and hopefully get some more done. But yeah, you're right, man. I've already limited myself mentally, but I know I don't want to say I know, but like I said, as soon as I was like, well, work situation, I asked for 32-hour work week, and my 3 immediate people said, yes, that's fine. And then the president like flipped out, got all pissed about it, said he'd shut the place down if I didn't work. I'm like, then that should mean you should probably help me out. Anyway, my first reaction was, fuck you, I'll quit then. And then I started reassessing like how I could do all this shit. And then I got so fucking stressed out before I even quit. I'm like, I don't want to do that. what am I doing to myself here? You know, if I have to, yeah, but I don't have to. So it was like an unnecessary stress.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, like doing this podcast, I think has been like the greatest like change up to all of our content, I think. to be able to actually put out videos where it can actually talk. So like you can also take that as a piece of proof that it works, you know, Ryan, like to do other content. You're like, you know what? I mean, come on, like if people are tuning in to hear, you know, about Japanese music news and like further bringing on people, interviews and stuff, I think that's a good thing. We've even talked about changing up the podcast. You gotta be willing to change up things so you can like push forward. And like we've already talked about, like, hey, we're gonna have a non-Japanese related segment, right? Something like that. Okay, cool. Let's add something else to make it more fun because we gotta change it up for ourselves too, or you know, maybe talk more about guitar or something like that. You know, I think those are always good things. But it is scary, right? You could, you could. It's like you gotta ease. You know, you gotta do it slowly, kind of thing.
Ideally, I wanted to do it so I didn't damage. You know, I didn't burn my bridge when I would leave eventually. And the way it was going was I was going to burn that fucking bridge. And if I did fail, I wouldn't be able to just come back to the job I liked. I mean, it's just a fucking factor of reality, man. It's like, I'm not stupid.
Yeah.
I worked a lot of shitty jobs. I worked in trailer factories. I just worked a lot of shitty places. And it's hard to find a job that supports you and you don't mind going into work. And I don't want to, I've busted my ass off to get to that point. So you know what? I don't want to wreck that.
Yeah. I mean,
and if I can take the time and build up what I want to do with video and stuff while I'm working and then make that switch, I'll do it. It'll take more time, but I'll do it.
I think that's the best way to go about it. I made the mistake of just saying, fuck it. Fucking walked out. I walked out.
Some people thrive when they do that, though.
No, but you got a plan, dude. Like the way you speak about stuff, like it just seems that you can make a fucking decision and you can immediately start planning. Like with me, if I made a fucking decision, if I was in a position to, I would turn around and go, oh shit, I fucking shit. Why not? And stop panicking, and that's never good for like a planning process.
I guess in my head, I thought I didn't have a plan as well. You know what I mean? I guess maybe that's what it was.
You still made the emotion behind it was like as scary as anybody's, and that's like the hard thing to do. But it's also like the other thing is like, say you're doing it slowly, right? Say you've got a job you like and you're doing it on the side and it's building, it's taking more time. And you're like, shit, man, I got 2 income streams. These are both pretty good. Hard to let go of, right? Because actually now you're evaluating the YouTube stream on the YouTube plus traditional income. And that's not really how you should look at it, because that's like a really difficult. I would say it's like it's impossible because the one's climbing with the other. So like it's impossible for it to match those two. But if you don't make a decision, you end up collapsing and you aren't doing any of the jobs or getting any of the income. So like you do have to make a choice at some point.
Dude, I think we should make an agreement that if any of us ever wins the lottery, we just split it amongst all of us, so we can just do this as we want to do this, and we don't have to follow any of these fucking guidelines.
I would do that anyway. I mean, fuck. What's the point of winning more money you can imagine if you don't help somebody?
Oh, I agree, 100%. Right? Like I would give at least half of it out,
guys.
Probably more.
You can be stupid and buy like a fucking mansion and a few cars and be done with it.
Oh, dude, no. First thing on my list is charity, and then friends and family. Like that's I haven't even thought. I'm the 4th thing on the list, like of what I want. So I got everything I need.
My thing has always been like any money that I earn is I outsource immediately. It's always been that, even with this channel, like any money I got is like, okay, giving away stuff and getting people to help with videos to relieve the stress, you know? So even when Ryan told me about that, I'm like, bro, if you're going to keep your job and just pay someone to do the tedious shit that you don't want to do. Because there is somebody out there that needs the money, needs a job, needs something to start up, or needs some skills. Like I have 2 people I train, and then they're doing it. Like I have a buddy who edits for me, but we run that channel and this channel. So we like go back and forth. I'm like, hey, you do this one. And I have another person that I taught how to do the comment section if I need to, or which I don't do. It's only for Vicky's channel. So that person answers all those. But man, it's such a relief to be like, cool, I can focus on editing videos while I have him answering Vicky's comments, and this guy over here helping me edit some videos, and also like just like supporting like that. That's how I've kind of like coped with it, I guess. And I was like, why am I not doing the same shit I did as a DM? Like just train people to do things, you know, and then like
as a dungeon master.
And then you don't have to quit. Yeah, exactly. But then you like that. So that's what I remember Ryan had asked me. I'm like, bro, don't quit. Just you're making tons of money, right, from your job. Like, just have someone help you, or teach your son, or to do some stuff and pay him. You know, my little one, he does that. I was showing him how to make thumbnails. I'm like, I'll pay you to do thumbnails. There you go. There, man. And he's like, and my son is like, he's like, I love earning money. I want to buy stuff. I'm like, cool. I'm like, guess what? This is the future anyways. You're going to have to learn how to do some of this, you know, because, I mean, it's a big thing, right? So who would have thought video editing and doing all that would be something you have to know?
So it's intense.
That was funny, too. Sorry.
Go ahead,
I was talking to Alan about, you know, what editing and doing all this stuff, and he was offered to help, and I'm like, well, you could do this and that. I'm like, well, I like doing thumbnails. I actually like doing that because that's like artistic and I enjoy doing it. I'm like, I want to make somebody else do it. That's like, then I thought, well, if I'm going to sit here and work on thumbnails for an hour, I can live stream and chat with people, which works to a certain point, unless you end up just talking to people and then they're like, hey, have you heard this song? And then you get fucking playing guitar and stuff. But so basically, I'm just going to keep doing what I was doing.
Yeah, for me, my fun thing is doing the titles and doing descriptions, or sometimes like we all have our different things, right? So everyone has different strengths.
I hate that too, man.
That's the stuff I need to do better with, but you know.
Yeah.
Dude, the filming the videos, if you said to me, all you have to do is film the videos, someone else is going to edit,
the
thumbnails. My other half helps me with like, I'll still write the stuff because that's to come from me, but she'll help me with like the tags and stuff like that and a couple of things. But I can't, if you said to me, it's just, you just got to film the videos, you don't have to edit them, answer people, you don't have to like answer comments and shit, man. I would be filming like
30 a day, right?
That's what
I would just
motivates
go
me.
for 8 straight hours if I knew that I didn't even have to write a fucking description for the thing. You know what I mean? Just film.
Yeah. My favorite thing to do is producing, like just in general. So like it's motivation for me because all these things I hate doing, I'm just like, all right, push harder, because if you get to that certain level, you'll be able to get somebody eventually to do this for you, and then you can focus on the things you love doing, you know? And then you'll also be helping that person with them learning new skills, because there's really nothing out there. I mean, there is some things, but you really learn a lot when you work for somebody that's doing YouTube. Like, if you guys are interested, if you guys go help a YouTuber, man, you learn so much when you go do that stuff, you know? It's very invaluable, because I did a YouTube like class thing, and we had a group of YouTubers. We had a whole Discord, and that's how I got my editor. Like, I knew him through there. He's like, well, I know your editing style. And we would sit on Zoom and he'd watch me edit. Hey, this guy, you got to fucking do it. And, you know, stuff like that. So it's a cool thing. Yeah.
You guys share me up, but you all have these Discords. Like, I don't think I'm on any of them. Am I?
I don't have that
a Discord
anymore. We stopped doing that.
Discord.
But...
You're on. I think you joined mine.
Did I?
Me community and I got you on mine.
Yeah. The last time I use it like
that's not mine, but it's sprouted from mine.
Yeah, I think I use it. I don't have a server or anything like that. I said like somebody else that has a server. There's like 6 of us in it. But yeah, you should invite me to yours if you have them. Just
we have our like our Gaijin guys is like our centralized like place. I think we have a tab on there that shows our personal servers. I don't know if we have that, Ryan. Do we? I think we do we have like our little corners.
There's connections. It's funny, somebody commented, it's funny how Chase just kind of fit right in. This is supposed to be an interview. We're just doing a fucking Gaijin guys. Just
from my experience with interviews, those are the best ones.
I changed the name to Talking About the State of Reactions. I was like, because I had no clue we were going to talk about. I'm like, oh, it seems like we're talking about reactions.
I'm officially in the Gaijin guys fucking Discord now. I'm in.
Awesome.
I'm in.
Welcome, sir.
Yeah.
Joey Bots, hit me up.
He's a good dude.
You met him. You met him this morning. That was Joey.
That's him, right? That's him. There he is.
That's him.
Fucking Joey Bot.
It's because he was with Dichotic, and then he left, and then we're like, we're gonna keep Joey in Essence, so we turned him into a bot, and then the Discord became Gaijin Guys Discord. After that,
Joey Bot sounds like a guy gets in trouble, ends up on the news.
But yeah, guys, speaking of that, we'll drop the link to Chase's channel. Also, put his channel in there in the Gaijin Guys, and you can have we'll have a place for you, Chase, in there, and then people can catch all your videos when you do release them.
Oh man, that's too kind. You don't need to do that, but I'm just grateful to be there.
We don't do it. The mods do.
Yeah. I'm sorry. Let me rephrase
So
Then
that.
go right ahead.
Most best people.
Let me rephrase
We
that.
allocate all these duties to other people. Don't worry.
Pubaka, are you listening? Oh, could you add?
God damn it.
But yeah, I mean, we're gonna end things here, man. It was so fun having you on. We'll definitely schedule another date with you to come on. That'd be awesome.
Love to, man. Love to. Whenever you guys need, hit me up and let's throw some ideas around it. Think of some
really
fun
fun
things we could do.
Yeah, it's a really fun conversation,
Sweet.
man. And we'll catch Wave when he doesn't have any work afterwards and go from there. But I'll let Champ sign us off though, and you have a good one.
Everybody, check out Chase's stuff, his Twitter, his YouTube channel. Chase, you want to just say what they are real quick?
It's just my name, man. Chase Carnison. Whatever you trying to find me on is the same thing. YouTube, Instagram.
He's the easiest
Twitter.
person on
YouTube for
to
videos,
find.
Twitter
It's the
for
same-
just
it's the
me
same for
shouting at sports,
Pornhub, too.
Instagram for.
And
Oh
his
yeah,
Pornhub
go
account.
Pornhub, go OnlyFans.
Yeah.
Chase Carnison. And then if you want more of us, obviously we all have our individual channels, but also the guys, check us out over on our Discord, which apparently has almost 1,000 people in it right now, which is really cool.
Nice.
There's always active conversation going on there, and there's all kinds of different stuff that just to look at, updates on our favorite bands and stuff like that, as well as our Patreon if you want to check out additional stuff like full reactions over on patreon.com/guys. And for many of the people that are looking at the chat right now and they see these little cool guys and guy logos next to some of them names, that's because they're channel members, and these channel members get to play with extra logos, including our face logos, and they get additional content as well. So, just be a part, be around, enjoy. Oh, and the BAND-MAID best song tournament is culminating tomorrow morning. We're gonna find out what the best BAND-MAID song of all time is,
God.
And it's the only one. There's no other. This is the definitive
we have decided.
answer.
We have decided, and this cannot be questioned ever again in the history of worlds. And it is it is
fucking
Daydreaming versus Blooming. These are the finals. So
Chase, what do you think right now? What do you think is a better song?
Out of those two,
Daydreamer. Or
Yeah,
Blooming?
just those two. The other ones don't matter anymore.
Yeah.
Blooming.
Blooming.
There you go.
Okay.
Blooming.
Oh,
I think Blooming might win now.
I don't know. I haven't actually checked in a
I'm
couple
trying
days.
to tip the needle.
Chase just like
Well, I think it's
swayed it.
daydreaming.
I'm co-signing.
Son of a bitch. I should have asked you.
All right.
I mean daydreaming.
He voted for both of them. You can actually do that if you really want to, but it doesn't do anything.
I can't wait to put out that video. I'm gonna put out the video and be like, the best BAND-MAID song ever. This is gonna be the title of that video. It's just gonna be Champ just saying the name, and that's it.
And
My
then
favorite
black
thing,
screen.
before you sign up, my favorite thing would be if BAND-MAID just secretly watch us all the time. They see the voting and then they go and delete the other song forever. And you guys are responsible for it.
Oh god damn!
Just to make sure that the one that they need is going
That's
to
their
be
two
the
best
victor.
songs. Just thinking of them watching us just made me.
You know what?
Oh.
I would love that. That would be fucking amazing. That would be the best troll ever.
Yeah. They're secretly in our Discord the whole time. Like, they're in our chat right now. Chrono Falco over here. That's actually Miku in disguise. We just have no idea. They're just keeping tabs on us.
Blooming
Oh,
right
man.
now.
All right, everybody. It was good to see you.
All right, guys.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you
Adios.
for sticking through the
Peace.
spotty services. But like I said, watching Spotify, Apple Music, all those streaming services. Chase, again, thanks for coming on, man.
Of
See you
course, and
guys.
thank you for having me.
All right. Cool.